Really?
All right. I think we're live. Hello, everyone. This is Jeff. And I feel out of my element right now because I am in a hangout and I've done forgot how to use this thing. That's what took us so long to get started. I know that we wanted to get started at 7:30, but I've kind of been newbieing through this all over again. It's been so long since I actually used Google Hangout. So anyway, we got Martin in here. Chris will probably join us whenever he's ready. He's busy doing stuff around the house, so we're not going to bother him. And Martin's got a lot of stuff he wants to share with us. Now, I know a lot of y'all know Martin out there. Some of you don't know Martin. And Martin, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them all about yourself, and you have the floor, sir.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Always an honor to be in your presence, my good friend. So thanks for the invite. Well, I know a lot of your people in chat, and Joy, and Ryan, and Tracy, Mrs. Hey, hi, all of you. But I'm flat Earth British, flat Earth. I've been around since the get-go, same as Jeff here. I'm trying to get this forward in a positive way. But the thing has been like basically a storm at sea. We've had everything chucked at us you could possibly imagine. But we stayed our course true. And here we are 3 years later. Now, I've, as a British, took a different tact, different course, because I realise, you see, that we cannot obtain models, as in a model, a workable model, because obviously we cannot basically have full exploration all the water, all the oceans and seas, and all of the land masses. That is what is required. We can't do that. So until that day, we can't possibly surmise a model. So that's all it would be, is surmising. So I'm not willing to do that game. That is forced on us by globe believers because they require a solid object to hold and hug onto, aka the globe. Well, I'm not playing that game. So I sort of took a different tact, different direction, which is our past. Now, a way to understanding our present and a way to understanding our future is to understand the past. And the past, I'm afraid, is nothing like you ever thought it was. Now, I have the proof. I have the proof. And what I propose, guys, is we have not been here long.
No.
1,000-year reset system.
Yep.
System, reset system. And the evidence is on the ground for at least 4, maybe 5 previous civilizations, or high technological civilizations that have come to a catastrophic end. Now, this is known. This is known by academia. This is known by everybody. So what happens?
Well, not admitted by academia.
Well, no, they will acknowledge a flood, that there was a cataclysm, but they give it a 12,000-year timestamp.
Well, they don't recognize archaeological evidence as it stands. They recognize stuff up until like 1960 and the theories of those things, and everything else after that, that's just, oh, well, that's just a pile of rocks. Yeah.
So what I've surmised of it all, Jeff, is we are in the year 2018, but the first 1,000 years AD, the first millennium AD, when it was in Britain, the Saxons, leading up to the Norman conquest of 1000 AD, then 1,000 years were added. They don't exist. Bringing Rome, if it existed, closer. Bringing all religions and everything closer. Now, I have the proof that this happened. I have the proof, that this happened through Middle Ages texts, which show you Rome, which is a byword, a cover story for the civilization that was destroyed, that went before us. We are a latter post-flood society.
And the people of Rome probably were as well.
They were, and I have the proof too.
They're always taking over everybody else's crap and calling it theirs, and they can't really account for building the shit, but they made it.
It's Greco-Romano or Carthaginian or even Persian, Jeff. They will give it that name. If it's under the ground and it spoils this antiquity, that's who it is. But it's not. It's a cover story. Rome is nothing but a word. Okay.
Hey, Martin, you hadn't heard my gold theory, have you?
No, man. I'm looking into it myself at the moment, mining.
All right. Can I tell you my gold theory?
Please.
All right. Everybody else has heard my gold theory, but you haven't, because I haven't talked to you in like a year. I've chatted with you and emailed a couple of times with you, but we hadn't actually talked.
No,
Oh, you want to hear something funny? Y'all want to hear something funny? I joined somebody's hangout the other day that I've never been to their channel before.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They were quite rude to my friend here.
They were very rude to me, but I won't ever go on there again. It's fine.
So,
if they're going to, you know.
So anyway, back to my gold theory. Back to my gold theory, Martin. They're all going to go get something to drink and pee right now while I tell you about this, because they all already know about it. So, we have evidence of big mining operations going back tens of thousands of years, correct?
I swear to God, I'm about to show you images of that.
Okay. Now, hold on. You ain't heard my theory. I'm going to listen to yours, but you got to listen to mine first before you get started, because I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to. No, I don't know what you're going to say, but I have an idea. We have both are going to intersect at about the same place because we started at the same place.
We did.
And we've always looked at the same kind of shit. So I'm going to tell you my gold theory, and you can look at chat. Chat will tell you I've done whole presentations on this.
Wow.
Tens of thousands of years, they've been mining all over the damn place. Okay?
Yes.
They've been mining gold. They've been mining a lot of different things. And historically, like from the Anunnaki, that I think who probably created us, they gave us tools to help us sustain ourselves, like the hoe or the plow, and then it moves up through technology. Now, you can kind of go through a lot of time, but I just want you to think of the pyramids and remember the gold capstones, and all of them are gone. And I think that we were always giving them gold. We were always mining for them, always giving them gold. And we still give them gold today, Martin.
Do you think they're coming back from the
I think we deliver it to them, dude. I think that we deliver it to them. Right. We deliver them the gold.
Right. Well, are you would you deny that there's something in the sky?
Well, they've always been here. Spaceships, as you know it, are what? Flying saucers, right?
Seen it.
Anti-gravitational devices, right? Yeah. They don't work in space.
Yeah.
They only work around a planet. There is no space.
Yeah, man. On a lateral.
Anti-gravitational device doesn't work in deep space when it's not near anything that's got some fucking gravity. Right?
Yeah,
push off of nothing, or push off of something that's everywhere. It's just wants it dead still. It can only work around a planet or on a disk or whatever the fuck you want to call gravity and how it works. Buoyancy. I just kind of call it buoyancy. They have figured out the buoyancy thing. Now that's fine. That's all dandy. But they don't come to us. We take the gold to them, Martin, via like rockets. What we call satellites are actually our deliveries to them. This is how the 57,000 things that we got up there, you never see them. They don't exist. You've never seen them. You've never seen, even if you're looking at what you think to be deep, upper or lower Earth orbit, like where the space station is. And we obviously see that those pictures are completely insane when you consider the pictures that we saw from the U-2 or the SR-71. We know that the planes exist. And it's my theory that they made us, they used us as slaves, they used us as miners. We still mine the fuck out of this planet today, Martin. Where's all the gold, Martin?
It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone.
And the properties that go.
But the silver ain't gone. The copper ain't gone. The steel ain't gone. The titanium ain't gone. All these other
and
things
the whole
are all still here.
Mining like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
I know.
Now we can use. They give us a technology. Whoever gives them the most gold gets the best tech, and it's always war tech. It's so you can control the rest of the world. That's how the computers and everything else that you see and all the AI shit, it just seems like it falls out of the fucking clouds. I suspect that it does. Now, that's my theory. That's my theory. I'm going to let you roll tonight.
No, it obviously echoes Zachariah Sitchin, who I wouldn't trust as far as I could throw the little shit, because he's one of them. But the Anunnaki making us mine for gold. Well, that's what the text, not Sanskrit, the Anunnaki text say. They were supposed to be deciphered off of cuneiform by Zachariah Sitchin. Other people give other versions, Jeff. But the gold's gone. We're frantically mining. There's evidence that this place is a mining plain. The landscape, the landscape of America is huge mining operations, Jeff. I've been digging this apart for months.
Well, think of all the terrorist farming. Think of all the terrorist farming in Asia that you've seen. These are all old strip mines. Antarctica, tens of thousands of years old strip mines.
Nazis blowing mines in World War II, entrances to ancient mining systems. Ancient seams. And what was I looking into this morning? I'm not joking. I was looking into gold seams. I've been looking into apocryphy. I've been looking into the circumstances of the events of the of the 1800s, which, to my mind, could happen again. And there are reasons for why this happened, and I think it might be related to what you've just said. I think it's to do with gold. It might be, Jeff.
I think that's how they live. The gold. Now, let me give you how the process works a little bit. This is a theoretical process.
Is it like monotonic gold, Jeff?
Yeah, it's monotonic. Now it goes back to the Ark of the Covenant, the whole 9 yards. Okay. When you're talking about the Ark of the Covenant and the shiny gold and all the, the light and everything else, we know that people have taken monatomic gold who kind of turn gold. They say that they were light beings and they consume monatomic gold. So you think you can just kind of, I've learned to back up and look at the whole timeline and look at all the stories all at one time. I don't pick them all apart. I take the whole thing and I'm trying to, I guess, give everybody an average of everything from as far back as the crazy people say, crazy people like us, and to even the crap that they even tell us.
Well,
we do know. All right. Now, so let's just say now, I don't know if you've ever dealt drugs before or if you've ever bought drugs from a drug dealer. I don't know that. I'm just saying, let's just call the monatomic gold the money. Okay. And let's call the technology the drugs. Now, if you're a drug dealer, Martin, are you going to drive down into the hood? Are you going to take your white ass and drive down into the hood to trade your drugs, the technology, for the money, the gold? Or are you going to meet at some neutral place that nobody knows or sees and that sort of thing, like out on a golf course, in the woods, something like that? And if you do have to interact with them drug dealers, they need to understand that the dudes that you're dealing with, they protect your ass. They are your gods of the neighborhood, so to speak, because you are something different. That you're bringing them technology, you're bringing them this way of life. All these structures are built and paid for and in the ground, and we got crops and look at the same time that the Anunnaki was going on, they were teaching people how to farm, how to irrigate their crops and shit like that, because they needed them to be self-sufficient, because they couldn't fucking take care of us. We needed to be able to take care of ourselves. Now, they cared not whether we went to war or didn't go to war or whatever. They would always give the persons giving them the most gold the best tech. And as humans as we are, we still invented shit on our own along the way as well, which they didn't interfere with. But we get to a certain point every single time and bam, they wipe us out and start all over again with the same fucking story. Kinda. They'll mix it up a little bit. And 1,000 years later, we're all sitting here looking at each other on fucking YouTube going, I'm thinking something fucking happened before, and I'm not quite sure what it is.
It's happened before. This has happened before. It'll keep happening unless we fucking put a stop to it. No, it seems that we are just being here to mine from the evidence that I was just going to show you. Weirdly enough, Jeff, even the New Mexico event that I've been looking into is mine related.
Yeah, everything is always mine related. They're the most protected things there are. It's unbelievable. And what they do with gold and gold contracts. I mean, yeah, you're allowed to. What have they collected all through history from people? What did they strip the people of all through history?
Gold, always.
Gold. They didn't strip them
Look
of
at the
silver.
project.
They didn't strip them of their aluminum, their copper, their steel, or nothing else. They'd ask them to turn it in if we were in war, just to recycle and build a fucking battleship or something. But they didn't strip anybody of anything other than gold. Always gold. Like they'll let you keep it for a while and then they'll call it all in.
Gold. Yeah, the main cities were made of gold. The buildings were gold on them. Yes. When Cortez arrived and seen the capital city glistening in gold, he couldn't believe his eyes. It's not there now.
How come all the space agency countries are the biggest gold holding countries?
What about this one? They're only saying that they've mined in the history of humanity, what, 2 Olympic or 4 Olympic-sized swimming pools of gold ever?
Bullshit.
That don't ring true.
I think it's constantly renewing. I think the Earth is constantly renewing. Just like when they pumped all the oil dry in Texas, all the oil started coming back. We know it's redoing. It's not from what they say it is. I think the gold is always growing. The mountains are always growing. This is a fucking farm. It's a gold farm.
Gold might be, Jeff, because of the bullshit where they said it come from. Born in the hearts of stars, you need a supernova to produce gold. And well, if that's obviously a crock of shit.
And all the religious stories always go around the gold and how gold was bad and you should do away with your gold and stuff like that.
That's funny things to a man's soul. Oh, yeah. It's weird, isn't it? And I got evidence I posted about 6 months ago of Detroit, okay, where they're literally refacing it in the turn of the century. And the buildings are 40, 100 foot high in the air, and they got high pressure hoses. Now, what they're saying, I thought it was a mud flood photos, a series of them. What they were showing is basically they are lifting the entire city up from the old one, and they're just building it 100 foot in the air. Right, this is nuts. But they're high pressure hosing. High pressure hosing is used for gold prospecting. Yes. That's what they were doing. They found gold under Detroit around 1908. They literally cleared the whole lot. They did the same in Chicago. Oh, this what I found out about the last century is blowing my mind. All connected with mining. A lot of what's happening now on the plain is connected with mining because the fracking, and these are previous occupants. There are giant underground systems under this plain. They know about it. They've tapped into them. They give you clues in movies like The Matrix, the giant sewer systems under Las Vegas, LA. Well, they're not there, are they? Well, maybe they fucking are.
They were. I've seen plenty of evidence of runways where runways aren't. There's just all kinds of things, especially when 10% of what we found is just above land. The other 90% is all underwater. We can't even hardly explore it.
No.
Where the fuck did the water come from?
They don't know. They don't know. Well, meteors over eons and eons of time delivering it.
That happened to make it through our gravitational field, although
no, it's just,
I don't know how, it's a one-way door. It's a one-way invisible door. Things can
the one that doesn't burn up going out and that does burn going in. They're just all nuts. I can't even believe that they're coming up with this stuff.
So you can go ahead if you want to share your screen. If you got anything you want everybody to see, I'll present. Okay,
well, this is concerning.
Everyone.
It'll be a bit encompassing. It's going to be concerning my discoveries of the week, which are a major event in 1811 through to 1812 in America. Now, this event, so Joy told me in chat, lives in the area, reshaped the interior of the whole continent of America. They've kept this out of official narratives. They do not teach you this in school, so I found. You've got to dig deep. There are books, there are newspaper cuttings. Now, this event was connected with a meteor, a comet, a beautiful comet that went over at the time, caused giant electrical arcing, giant earthquakes, 2,000 earthquakes, right?
I think it was actually Saturn. I think it was Saturn making the pass that created all that arcing and shit. You know, the wheel, you seen the wheel stuff, I've
read Zachary, Emmanuel Verosovsky's The Worlds Collide. I know this shit exactly works with bodies, but with planes, it would work. It would work better, electrical arcing, with planes rather than spheres, if the truth be known. I've been looking into it.
I know, and I don't think we're a sphere.
No man, no man.
I don't
This
know.
works.
Well, I don't know what the fuck we are, but I don't.
Let's add in hypothesis. Look, if it builds up over time, we know there's giant amounts of electrical static charge in the air, and the higher up you get, the more intense
Or
it
it is.
gets. We know
Right.
this. Yeah.
That's why they don't ever have
So
electrical fires on the space station, right?
exactly. Yeah. Right. It builds up. It builds up.
You imagine
It
what the
might be a
static,
thing.
what kind of static shocks they get. They must damn put each other into a rears up there.
I can't even watch them anymore. I could just spend like all day show you how ridiculous there are is because I got like files full of. I can't even be bothered.
I know.
Honestly, it's so insulting. I can't even be bothered with it anymore. Honest, that's why I'm doing history. It's insulting to my brain.
It is.
History is a key to where we stand. It really is. Now, I'm going to show you. Start with the events of. Excuse me. Of. Anyway, I'm going to share my screen of the New Mexico event. If you're not aware of it, it happens in 1811 through to 1812. Okay, I'll just show you now. Oh, excuse me. Okay, now the New Madrid event.
Yes.
There it is. Now, what happened was liquefaction of the ground over vast scales, which you're witnessing here. Villages and towns disappearing into mud. Okay, there was a 5-mile-long fissures carved out into the landscape from electrical arcing. Mountains between electrical arcing points are pushed up. They could be mesas or maybe Devil's Mount. And there's electrical arcing evidence near that site.
Yes.
So these things are pushed, yeah. So when this was recorded, guys, when this happened, the river Mississippi ran upstream. The reason they reckon,
right.
Yeah, upstream. They reckon the reason was because the land interior had moved up something like I can't even say, but miles.
Damn 1,000 feet. Yeah, it's a long. It was a long way.
Yeah.
A long way to make the Mississippi fucking start running the other way. That takes some serious uplift.
It's reshaped the interior of America, but nobody seems to know about it. The greatest earthquake recorded in North America centered in this area on December the 16th, 1811 through to 7th of February, 1812. Remember that date because this was a comet going over. Now, apparently, there are certain mineral deposits in this area. This is a mining operation on this stream. Now, what they found was crystalline structures under the ground burnt in from electrical arcing deposits. So it's something to do with.
So they are terraforming from somewhere else.
Well, I was not going to suggest it, Jeff, but look at the evidence. Right, this is. I
can totally appreciate this. I think we got so much information that we can share back and forth right now, Martin. That I think I believe just between the two of us, we got it.
I think so. And there's a couple, a few people out there in this arena who the penny has dropped with the whole thing. Now, like I said, Jeff, we haven't been here long, and if they put it here or somebody, and we're in this sort of small pocket, this place is huge. We're in a tiny bit of it. Then there's no reason to believe that this is an enclosed system. We are being onlooked, and we are basically slaves for gold. And why not? It's all missing.
And maybe some other precious metals as well. They're going to need their metals and precious metals for their own technology. So it's not, but the gold is what keeps them alive. Understand that is what they consume is the gold. They consume monatomic gold. That's what they're like, beings of light. Whatever they are, they're beings of light.
These showed up all over Russia 2 years ago. Do you remember these?
Yes.
This is heat. This is liquid. This is heat that has melted the sides. So what has come straight down from above and cut?
Yeah, it didn't come from below. That's right.
Yeah, it didn't come from below because it's got a connect point.
Well, look at the rest of them. Just go to Russia. Go to Russia. Massive holes in the ground. Look at the outsides of the hole. You won't see that much. You won't see that much debris. Man, if you excavated that fucking hole right there and planted all that dirt around the top,
obviously I thought gas
it'd be a
coming
mountain.
up and bubbling, but that's not what you see.
Well, that's what they say, but I don't believe
it's
that.
not what you see, Jeff. It's too much debris, like you say, mate. It would be a crater. It'd be large.
All right, look at this, Martin. Look up the Little Grand Canyon. Just put in little. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm just going to show people how they extend things, how they stretch this 1,000 years that we supposedly did, and they do it through this weird form of archaeology. When shit happens in your lifetime and you see it formed, and you go, wow, you know, because when Mount St. Helens blew the third time, it created the Little Grand Canyon in a matter of minutes.
I seen a video on it. It blew my mind, Jeff. Blew my mind. Now, here it's on an Oxbow Lake, or what will be an Oxbow Lake in the future. It's on a meander on the river. But when you go down on Google Earth, you got this lake called Bottle Boot Lake or something. I think it's something like that. And it's 100% evidence of electrical arcing. Now, you've seen the diagrams of what people witnessed, and there was local people done a depiction, and the only print of this depiction I can get offline is this. So this went over. This beautiful comet, mesmerizing. I've got statements, newspaper cuttings concerning this.
Sure.
And it went over the plain. Okay, not just Missouri. I think it arced when it went over the mining operation, is what I think. Okay. Now,
and it could be when they know where it arcs, and that's where they'll go mine, because the arcing helps create the minerals and the crystallization.
Makes exactly what I was thinking. Was it a production? Now,
it could be. It might not be, but it could be.
Run 2 weeks ago. Look at this. Check it out. Look at it. There's like a body inside, a halo. Now, run back 2 weeks. Remember that?
Yeah, that was the rocket that shot off, that set the Zuma rocket that lost their supposed payload.
I have medieval paintings, depictions with this on. Exactly.
I saw a pretty clean video of this from both angles. I do believe it was a rocket launch, and I do believe that whatever they delivered up there is gone.
It's not Falcon. That wasn't Falcon.
Oh, that's not the Falcon. I thought that was the Zuma. This was the one out in California, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
yeah. It did look strange. All the video that I saw the same day it came out, they had the dude standing. He turned to the right. You could see where it lifted off at.
Yeah,
and
but it's about uncanny. It's something about it, isn't there? That doesn't.
It is strange. Right. It is strange, and that could be simply, Martin, just because they were chemtrailing them real bad that day. Man, you never know. I mean, there's just no telling. I believe they're shooting off fucking rockets left and right. They're getting where they're shooting off rockets left and right.
There's not like actually a rocket in any of these pictures as per se.
No,
you
get
can't
this thing. Yeah, you can't.
Get this thing at the back.
That's the second stage. That's the second stage falling away right there.
Oh, is that what I said? Yeah,
if you watch the video, you can see. Back up all the way back down. That's the first stage. Is the big ball down at the bottom right. Down at the bottom, bring your hand on down to the bottom right, right above the green light. Oh no, shit.
All right, it is a light though. But anyway, so
is that a street light? Is that a street light right there? I thought that was the second stage.
It is strange. It looks like strange.
Yes, it is strange.
It's eerie, okay, but it's very reminiscent of a comet. Now, with the new Madrid, there's been a cover-up. I got a link for a video. I'll put it in the descriptions and in the chat for the people in a minute. It's a guy called Electronics Project who's done a series of exposés on this, and I only discovered him last night. He blew my mind. He sent me a link and said, yeah, good work, check this out. He's been doing it for 3 weeks. He's uncovered more than I have. It is incredible. Some woman went out to this apparent volcanic eruption in North Carolina, and tries to disprove the common myth of this being an eruption. But if you read this, the descriptions of events have nothing like earthquakes at all. Nothing. This is apocalyptic. This is mud floods. This is tsunamis. This is lightning ripping the earth to shreds. It's insane. Now, I can sort everyone up for these to read. I don't want to be going through that.
Right. Now, stop. Wait a minute. Hold on. Stop a second. Now, go back to that SpaceX page.
Yeah.
Just go back there for a second. Okay. As weird as this might look, I want you to, you want everybody to understand, as weird as that looks, when we're talking about the arcing of the earth, it's not going to look like that.
No, man.
It's going to be apocalyptic.
You can imagine.
That right there, I do believe that's a rocket. I lived in Florida. I saw them shoot them off. It looks just like a goddamn rocket to me. I don't have a problem with that, thinking that's a rocket. They're like
and it's coming back down like they usually do. No, that looks like a meteor, doesn't it? Mysterious light in the sky over Russia visible.
Yeah, I guess. And I'm thinking Russia's getting lots of gold out of the ground here lately.
Yeah, they're the only ones with Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan are gold. If you look into Astana, it's the new NWO headquarters, and it's beautiful, all filled with Masonic symbology. The entire center, you would, nice, yes. I done a vlog on it. What I discovered was the entire country is carnaged by mining. Right, and what I discovered blew my mind. You won't even believe it. If I find that vlog, watch it, Jeff. It's called oh my God, what have I found in the Uzbekistan landscape? Because I found a load of pyramids in a mining operation. Oh yeah, I'm not joking either. Oh yeah, man, it's mind blowing. Did you ever see that comet? Not Shoemaker leaving. That was when they went into Jupiter. The one that went overhead. It was absolutely amazing. Back in about 1993.
Hail Bop.
Hail Bop. Did you catch that, Jeff?
No, but I was wearing my favorite tennis shoes.
Man, it was unreal. Honestly, I've never seen nothing like it. We had a Hail Bop party.
Hey, I wonder if all them boys caught that ship. I wonder if all them boys caught that thing they thought they were going to catch a ride on.
Man, I don't know. I doubt it. Well, you mean Heaven's Gate?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna hit you right. Yeah, I know. Who knows?
Or do you think they're up there right now going, ha 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 ha, stupid people?
I don't know. Who paid for the Nike trainers? Who got billed for them?
Sure, they probably stole them, I reckon.
Right. Well, this is just extra proof that the catastrophic events of 1812 were not confined to America. They were confined to different continents. This is in South America, Caracas, 1812. Where Jolan Barastitimo basically is in him and his entire army. A massive earthquake struck northwest of Venezuela. A quake swallowed up Jolan and his soldiers along with their provisions, weapons, and munitions. Friends dug him out. But if you look at the sky on this image, it's identical to what you see on the images for the new Madrid event. Massive arcing coming out of the sky. And when you read into it, it's exactly the same. You have the city of Caracas itself, tens of thousands killed, tens of thousands in surrounding environments. Many died later. Mass destruction followed.
And that was when an enemy was standing dead on top of them and sunk their asses into the ground somehow.
Look at it. Hell. But it's not confined to that because
no. It's throughout the world, man. These stories.
I got evidence for there was Kiev burned down. Now, if you follow my vlogs, Jeff, I done a post on the American fires. Did you see that? The American city fires.
I didn't even know you had a vlog, but I will check it out. I promise.
Right. I done a vlog, right, on American city fires. All main American cities, Chicago, Philadelphia, LA, you name it, New York, 1774, all of them, every single one of these cities were destroyed by fire.
Yes.
So what I've pieced together is expulsion or eradication of the previous civilization, which existed, and they dug out of the mud, tarted it up. There's, the bottom bit of the White House, yeah? Well, you only see photographs of the dome going on in 1865, okay?
Right, it was just a remodel. It was already there. It was just a remodel.
Yeah, it was already there, brother.
Everything was already there. Everything was already there.
The masonry on the top is shit and needs constant maintenance. This is another event, Sarajevo,
That's why
1811.
everything
Great
you see that's old is just busted all to pieces. Everywhere you go, it's just busted all to pieces. Like they say, well, it was a flood. It was a flood. No. I've seen mudslides. Mudslides. They carry everything away with them, man. They carry all the rocks, boulders, megaliths, every goddamn thing. No.
No, man.
Blood doesn't fucking scatter rocks in a circle.
It's a definite. The one in Central Europe can be traced. It can be seen today on the topography coming down towards the Black Sea. It's there today. You can see it. This is a killer for the 1,000 years dead of the first 1,000 years. Millennium, sorry, AD didn't exist. I think they added 300 years. They added with the Juliana Gregorian switch of this very same year of 1812, because this is what I think's happened, Jeff. We had a catastrophic event plane-wide. It's been kept out of the official narrative. They reset the calendar that very year.
Yes.
They introduced the leap year that very year.
Yes.
So they did a reset on the calendar, 100%. And the whole world's technology that we perceive today arrives at that time.
Right. But for about a 500-year period, that's when all the survivors kind of consolidate all their calendars and all get on the same calendar.
You got it. That's exactly what it is. It's consolidation.
Exactly what it is. I know it is. Well, I know it is.
Nice watches, guys. Is what it is, Jeff.
Right. What time do you got?
What time you got?
Yeah. What time you got?
Exactly what I got.
That's exactly how it goes. What time you got?
This is supposed to be Rome.
What fucking year do you think it is?
But unfortunately, Rome is still up and active, and very much like it's supposed to be in ancient Rome. So ancient Rome. Concerning people like I don't know, take your pick. Nero, I have in the. I don't know whether you've looked at the Chronicle, Nuremberg Chronicles, Jeff. Have you? Mind blowing. I'll show you in a second.
I have not. I have not.
Very early text shows you Nero in Middle Ages clothing, proving that if they did exist, these emperors such as Caligula or Nero or take your pick, it will prove that this is close. If it was Rome and just a byword for this civilization, it was close. And any shit in the ground will be them. There's something I want to show you a second, Jeff, when I get to it. Now, this is here. It's called the Cosmography. I found it in Russia, basically connected to a Russian site. It's in Latin. I can read a good bit of it because it's an English dialect. They sort of the countries are the same names, and it'll give you a European history. It'll give you a biblical history. Unfortunately, it's not the history that's in the history books they give you. It's more the accurate history, but not quite, because there's still a Jesuit overlooking this book. Now, this book's had notes taken out of it in really intriguing places, such as lizard people or shape-shifting lizard people documented in the landscape, as in a bloke that changes his head and turns into a lizard that looks exactly like the lizard you see today.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Now, if you were a light being, you could be anything you wanted to be. You could present yourself as a bird, a dog, a cat,
Jeff,
a person.
I must ask then. I done a vlog this week where New Earth, Sylvie, I'm sort of bouncing back and forth. I think we're sort of doing a communication here, if I'm honest. But she surmised through an image that she's picked up that knights were, in fact,
aliens. Yeah, like a pair. Yeah, something else. Yeah.
And I actually think it's starting to think it's either these.
I would like to give her more time on that one.
I've tried to contact her, Jeff. She won't have nothing to do with me because I'm a flat earther.
I'll pass it on to her. I communicate with her.
Oh, well, I think the
ain't so much in my mind. She'll answer my emails back, but they're kind of general stuff. But she doesn't like talk about anything. I think
it'd be a lot to contribute. I do if we got to talk. Now, this book here is an Arab text from 1609 called "The Book of Ingenious Devices." Unfortunately, this book.
Okay, I've seen this.
If we got a problem, it's the annihilation of any official theories of the Industrial Revolution. happening in England in the latter 1600s. This is a battery. Fuck your Baghdad battery. These are cathodes. This is high energy in 12th century, apparently. Well, that would be
monkeys with batteries.
Monkeys with batteries, but you ain't seen nothing. This thing is insane. The technology these people got, the Arab world, and it gets suppressed because I think they're slightly outside of the Western indoctrinators. That's a bit of a problem, haven't they, going on?
Yes.
Very ingenious use of water.
Oh, they were big in the water. Yeah, Archimedes, all that came right out of the Middle East. Yes.
So what's that? So they're saying they came along. Yeah, look at it. They go intensive. So that just kills everything that they taught us, doesn't it? In our one image. There's the other cell, a different design, 100% an electrical device. Knocks spots of any Baghdad battery. That's just a psyop, obviously.
Yes.
Water used to great effect. This is a human size, so this is a vast thing. Gold, again. I can't help thinking, what do you make of the manna machine, Jeff, in biblical writings? This machine.
Oh yeah, the magical machine of food. Yes.
I got a theory that it produced algae, because there's algae that can be produced out of the ether, believe it or not, that can feed millions. I shit you not. Algae, this particular type, will just happen in damp circumstances. This shit just shows up out of the air.
Okay. How many people were surviving on this machine?
40,000.
40,000. You ever seen 40,000 people? You ever seen 40,000 people again? Now imagine I'm standing there with an igloo cooler and I'm passing out sandwiches all day long to 40,000 people.
All right, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Good point, man.
Okay. Continue.
Good point. Continue. Right, let's move on. Now, this is connected to what Jeff just been telling me about. I haven't spoken to Jeff, guys, in chat about mining, but like today, added today, there's your proof. No communication on this. I load up all of these about what Jeff's just talking about, just for spookiness. Now, mining, it would seem in the Middle Ages that this book that I've got, this Cosmograph, and other books, these Middle Ages texts I've been getting hold of, all show Europe is a giant, and the whole plain is a giant mining operation. They have dug out the entire interior of whatever this is, and it's gold. Okay, it's gold,
and it's gone.
Now, this is deep, but it's 15th century or early 16th. Yeah, they've got what looks like to me a linker. It looks like a nice bit of kit. They're doing links. They got a rack and pinion. They got a nice little privet system. They're bringing up water. It's advanced.
They're actually showing that they're making their equipment on site. They're showing that they're making the links. The links are going into the chain that runs the buckets down at the bottom of the mine. It brings the buckets up to the top to the sluice box. That those guys up top are running the sluice box. The guys on the treadmill are running the sluice box.
It's amazing, isn't it? I know
what they're doing when they're rotating that thing. It's bouncing up and down. It's separating fucking rocks and water and shit like that. That's a fucking sluice box operation right there. That's a mining gold sluice box operation right there.
Check this then. Check this. Oh, I can't blow it up. But this is in actually a place called Macclesfield in England. It's out of the Cosmography, which I found in Russia, by the way. But I can't really blow it up on Google.
Okay. Hit your control button and mouse roll up. Hit your control button and mouse roll up. See if that works.
You can't blow them up on Google Images, see? Not on this one anyway.
Okay, gotcha.
Cut into the hillside, but what you can see down in this corner here is a railway line. Narrow gauge in 1609. Well, this proves beyond a shadow of a doubt, to my mind, that if they're using it in a mining operation, they're using them, or they're going to be, let's go off to the next village, attach a horse to it, we got railway. They had railway. This is bullshit that arrived in 1800s. Bullshit. So that's that event a minute. Now, mining. Now, this is one of the best pumps I've ever seen. But it's from 1609. 1609. out of the cosmography.
It's because the mining never stopped. The mining technology never stopped. Them
Oh.
motherfuckers ain't going to let the mining technology stop. They are going to.
It's like we're doing nothing else, mate.
Right.
It's like
Yes.
we're not doing anything else.
Well,
So
we grow food for
there,
ourselves. We're allowed to build houses for ourselves. We're allowed to go to war with each other. We're allowed to do all kinds of shit. We even elect fucked up leaders to run us around and shit like that. I have no idea how they control it after that. I don't have any idea. But I know that they do.
Overseers, haven't they? Obviously, they got overseers. That's actually Boston. Usually, it's in 1860. So what's taking it? Well, it's a balloon, isn't it? And I have a theory that these people, or these even the 1700s, I think they had balloons a long time before 1700s. I think these are the tour balloons that they would use, the elites. I know it's as mad as it sounds, for aerial bombardment. These American cities were taken out, and it looks exactly like what would appear to be an aerial incendiary bombardment. To be entire American cities on that scale, it can't be anything else. So I think that they hid the advanced balloonage that they had. They took it out of the public eye in the Hindenburg disaster, so killing balloons when they were obviously a really excellent way to get around. But the Hindenburg disaster, to my mind, PSYOP got the balloon out of the way. This is just an old picture of the West for some reason. Now, former President John Quincy Adams, photographed in 1843. Right, Adams was born in 1767, so he would have been alive during that event. And he served, for that period, the earliest president ever to be photographed. Now, that's Abigail Adams's son, believe it or not. So that's just trying to prove, although there seems to be something wrong with this photograph, that the 1700s are there, if that makes sense. When you got this crossover point.
Don't change it yet. Hold on.
Something wrong with it, isn't there? Is the background false?
I don't think this is a real photograph.
I don't either, Jeff. I've stared at it so much. I think it might be a fictitious
photographs. I've seen old photographs of my grandparents and stuff like that. I don't give a shit what they had in 1843. They couldn't have taken this picture right here.
I absolutely agree.
I don't give a shit unless they had a camera from the past.
Well, I got another theory, and I post a lot about it. I'm on episode number 11. What is the real age of photography? Where I propose that it be sat on from a previous time, and I actually think I got proof of this. Now,
I think that we find old technology, but I also think that they give us the higher technology, like all the new artificial intelligence and shit like that. I totally think that microchips, Star Wars kind of weapons, missile technology, just all that stuff. I don't think that we come up with that. I think that we get that. But there's a lot of stuff, like even Hitler came up with the real society that was looking into the, they were actually using the knowledge that is held here, the collective knowledge. You can call it collective knowledge in the water, the air, through the people or whatever, to reach out and understand how to build something. And then they built something, and soon after that, I think that a lot of why Hitler was kind of picked out and all that stuff is simply because he was building what he was building.
Yeah, I agree with you, man, and the whole thing. But let me hit you up with this that I seen 2 days ago, Jeff. You might dig this. Now, the first and the most famous person in movie history is Charles Chaplin. And he's got a little funny black mustache you've never seen on anyone. And this little guy, he's an idiot. Okay? He's the most famous man on earth. He comes in, and then almost as if it's predictably programmed, in 1933, out of nowhere, arrives an artist who's in power, that's got a funny little mustache. And the first thing everybody thought of at that time was, oh, he's exactly like Charlie Chaplin. He's a funny little man. He's an idiot just like him. Now, is it conceivable that he was predictive program? He actually played Adolf Hitler in The Great Dictator.
And also, but in that time period, that was a popular style of mustache. That was popular. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's just
granted,
been, what I would say is happening in this photo is the arrival of the evil empire. Well, it's here anyway, but
well, you look
that
at
was
what
the
Hitler did.
first
I
one.
think Hitler was trying to set himself. He knew what position he wanted to be in.
Yes,
That's why the gold. What did Hitler go after?
the
History,
gold and the Japanese
artifacts, and
gold.
gold. History, artifacts, and gold. History, artifacts, and gold. That's everything Hitler ever wanted. Every time he invaded a country, he'd lock down the museums, lock down the libraries, and take the goddamn gold. And then
Yeah,
he didn't give a shit what people did. They could go about their regular business, but he was going to get the library, he was going to get the museums,
yeah.
and he was going to get the gold.
That's just apparently Roman, 2,000 years old, and as you can see, it's a platonic solid, isn't it? They know, they have complete knowledge of sacred geometry. It's proving that they were working on different stuff to us. That's supposed to be him on the way to the moon. Unfortunately, it's a nice summer's day outside.
It sure is. It's beautiful.
Liar. The
trees.
trees.
How about a Mandela effect thing for you? Did you know that the Russians had a space shuttle program just like ours?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Right,
I got photographs of it. Yeah.
Y'all are totally brainwashed. It never happened.
Well, there's a lot you don't know about. Things have gone a bit weird, Jeff. Things are not. Who this Randy fucking Jackson is? The new little Jackson is bugging me. Have you seen that?
What is this? What is this we're looking at here?
Right. This is in a Paris street in 1967, the year I was born, and it's someone being put under the guillotine. There's a public execution as recent as that in Paris.
And that's when?
1967, the year I was born. That recent. Chopping them off in the streets, mate.
Really?
You do it. This not safe. First,
wait. Look, you cannot fucking do that shit. Back the fuck up for a second. 1967. Yeah. Where?
Paris.
What?
I know. It's a shocker, isn't it? It was the last one, but admittedly, it's still 1967. They were still hanging people in the UK.
Yeah, they were hanging people when I was a kid, and they were even shooting people when but I didn't think that they was doing that.
Yeah, there's a lot more
66
French Revolution, you might imagine.
That's crazy. All right, move on. Continue.
Part of the story. Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be the first ever image taken, but I don't believe they can actually go up that far. But it's actually flat when you look at it that way. Obviously. Mining again. Small world, isn't it? This is a sports stadium. Yeah?
Yes.
This bit here?
Yes. A sports stadium. Look at that hole.
Of that hole. It's a mining operation in Russia.
Now, here's another idea I have about these holes. That they were mining operations and they filled them in, but the underground water kind of emptied the hole out because there's just no evidence that that the dirt came out of that hole anywhere.
I'll go back to that now. 2 seconds. Trying to show you something, Jeff.
All the holes in Russia like that, man. They got a little bit of rim to them, but if you took all the dirt out of that hole and laid it on the rim, if you ever dug a little hole in your backyard, oh, check this out. Yes, I've seen this picture before.
Yeah, it's got excellent evidences for the that's some granite bowl and it's just white.
It's just a granite bowl. It's just a granite bowl. It was turned on. It was turned on a lathe.
Is this place? I've been studying it for quite some time.
St. Petersburg, yes.
This is, obviously out of the mud.
All right, now supposedly Alexander.
That's Alexander.
Go back up to that. All right, now stop right here, Martin.
Yeah.
Now, whatever you might think about these, I assure you, they poured these stones right in place. Now, the indentions that you see sticking out are like joists. You think of them as whenever you pour concrete, you put some steel in there sideways or tall ways or both ways to hold that fucking rock together, period. Now, what they used to do is they'd pour smaller, longer stones. That's what they'd pour longer, little like 2x4 concrete blocks is what they would pour. And before they would start pouring that one, they would stick those down in there and it gave it a ton of extra stability so they wouldn't crack. That's why they didn't use them to pick them up or anything like that. That was actually sticking outside of the mold. The little nodules you see were sticking outside of the mold.
Yeah, I thought that myself. I've had a couple of theories that there was like basically like because you see like a chamfer was there some sort of plaster covering on these
Right,
things.
and this is called polygonal masonry. You'll find
Polygonal?
this is some of the oldest stuff that you'll find, and a lot of times it's up underneath other structures that came along thousands of years later.
Well,
it seems
you can see that there, Jeff. You can see that underneath is not the original polygonal, and neither is this. So they're all built on. They're tapping into the previous occupants. Look at that. Without advanced CNC machines, this would not be possible. But this is one of my
I show this one all the time. Yeah,
I can't get my head around.
All right, so they don't know who fucking did this thing.
No,
there is no history. There should be a whole book written on how this fucking dude did this shit right here. And then they said, "Oh, it's one piece. It's one piece of fucking marble, a real chippity piece of marble too."
Have you seen the rope close up?
Right? Yeah. And then they said that when they nailed him down on it, they said, "Oh, the people that run the museum thing, he did it with a pumice stone on a stick." And you're just going, "You gotta be shitting me! Look at this thing."
It's mind blowing. It's them, isn't it? Or 3D
you couldn't even pour this. You couldn't make a mold for this. You couldn't. There's nothing.
I worked as a stonemason. I know stone. I know how it works, how it breathes. This is impossible.
Yes.
It's just incredible to my eyes. I've got so much I could show you, Jeff. It's incredible. But this is out of stone. You do cemetery art yourself, don't you? Cemetery gravestones.
Yep.
I got a nice collection I've been looking at, Jeff. But how do you do this stuff and capture a person's, personality?
Anguish. Not just their personality, their anguish.
So this is Sebastopol. Why is it there? This place was destroyed apparently in the Crimean War, the First World War, Second World War. Yet the old civilization still stands, as you can see, built by here.
Like
this is an old one.
Asians were up in there at one time drawing some dragons on shit.
Yep, exactly. This is a part of the whole story. I think dragons are part of it. As weird as it sounds, I think they are. I don't think they're just symbolic of being dead.
There was something here that looked like them. Fucking, I don't know if they could fly and breathe fire or not, but there was damn sure some dragon.
Well,
if you never seen a damn iguana or a monitor before, it would look just as crazy and evil, and you would say like, "Wow, that's the weirdest looking lizard I've ever seen in my life."
So this is electrical arcing evidence. If you get online, anywhere, and spot two lakes, you will often see a big mesa or a mountain range where it's been pushed up between them. These forces are basically witnessed all over the plain. I want to get to these mining operations. Now, it would seem that the whole of this area is used for a vast mining operation of Sebastopol on the Crimean Peninsula in Russia.
Oh, back up.
Okay, now there's a bit of a story with the Crimea, Jeff. I've been there myself. Yes. I'm to Odessa. Now, it's just been annexed. It's part of Russia again, yet the Ukraine's not. So it's like an island of Russia now.
All right, those right there.
To basically infuse the Black Sea fleet, Russian fleet, we're now taking Sebastopol. No war, no problem. We just annexed the Crimea.
Yeah, we just walked in. We just walked in. Nobody was there. Didn't have to knock on a door.
You remember this?
No big deal. Yeah. Well, I've not seen this picture. I'm just looking at this picture because.
Well, this is a mining operation again.
Well, it looks like it might even have been a seabed or something like that. There ain't no water there no more.
I've looked at that.
All right, so now look at this. This looks like it was a seabed or a mining. It could have been a mining operation a long time ago before it was a sea, and then it wasn't a sea. All right, here you go.
Now, they got you've seen these. Have you? These are from one of the earlier civilizations in the Crimea. You can see.
I've seen these.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there also fairy castles? Do you know Sylv is taking an yep.
Yeah,
2,000 euros, Jeff. Now, obviously, just proving just now that rails were used in 1500s. It's quite, good to presume that they were using rails. This is not wooden carts over eons of time, carving these grooves out. This is being.
Well, you couldn't do it. Even you couldn't do that if you had steel wheels on that rock right there.
This is unusual. This is the same quarry, Jeff, modern Crimean quarry for limestone mining.
Yes.
Now, funny you've been saying this, Jeff, because I got about 5 links put up by you where somebody's told me a very unusual story about a mine in America, and I've just been starting reading into it last night. I'll dig into that now, actually, because there's something in this. Now, this is they can't really give it an age. It's an installation. Yeah.
Yes.
For this mining operation.
There's still a current mining operation going on here, but they said that right there went back farther. What you were just now showing. Okay, right here you can see how the sidewall, it kind of goes up at an angle like it's over that house. The railway and everything, you know, was all like that before they started building their shit.
Exactly. It's a very important shot. The Incoman Quarry.
Okay.
Charlemagne. Yeah, it is. It's an
but
important.
More than anything, look how big that fucking house is. Now they said that quarry goes back to like, I forget what was the damn date on that as a quarry.
1890.
1890, and they're shaving off the whole side of a fucking mountain, nice and clean.
Well, did you see that? You did. You seen that post I put up for that Kamenets, that city in the Ukraine, which is down in the ground, and they got sheer cliffs the whole way around.
Yeah. And I went back and I found actual. I looked at it on Google Maps.
Yeah,
and it's changed. It's changed a lot.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah. It looks quite modern, doesn't it? It's a city of 360.
This is it. This is that last one you were showing. And now what you see is after they mined, you see how people have taken up shack and they're living in these things.
So and America's the same at the same time. Look at the size of the house.
Well, no, I'm just saying if you back up to the other one, to the top one where you had the rounded rocks where the elf castles were, look at the elf stuff, or look at the fairy castle one.
Yeah.
All right, I'll wait till you get back up to that one. Okay, all right, now this would probably be newer stuff here. That right there, fairy castle stuff, same thing. You would think that, that's where people were living. Yeah, they were living there, but they were also mining the goddamn thing.
That's all they were doing.
At the same time. So you can see this as a mining evidence throughout the ages. What they'll do, they'll mine shit. The shit that they were mining, I don't know where the fuck it went, but they sure enough left their little huts behind.
Roll that up a bit. Okay.
What's going on, guys?
Hey. What are you writing?
Oh no, Chris Rock.
Okay.
What's going on, brother? Hold on, let me get you in over here, Chris. I'm about to try a couple of different things going on here. Share controls. All right.
Okay.
What's going on, Chris?
Not too much.
You feeling okay? Wait a minute. Hey, stop, Martin. Stop. Quit scrolling. Hold on. Let's let Chris get in here. What's going on, Chris?
I'm in.
How you feel?
I'm here.
Huh.
I am here.
Good to hear you, Chris. Long time, mate.
How you doing, Martin?
Bloody brilliant, thanks, Jeff. Having a good time.
Are you?
I'm sick to my stomach, but I'm okay for
now. What kind of meds you on?
Fucking excuse my language. Hydromorphine, basically.
Whoa.
Hydromorphine. I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, it's DFs. DF-118. Dihydrocodone. They blast you. They do, but they never.
Is that what it is? It's a pain. That's a pain pill.
Yeah, man. Dystopian.
Fucking pain pill that makes you sick. Fucking
man. Make you puke.
There's another pill. It'll make you less sick, but it'll make you go blind. And
They make your belly feel scratchy and you feel itchy. They're horrible.
No, it's way too much for my delicate system.
Right.
I get on the magical marijuana if I was you, Chris, and knock the fucking opiates in the head. They drop your immune system. They don't help. Take it from someone who knows. Medical marijuana.
What I'm
is the one
stopping the pain. That would be the first thing.
Yeah, pain is combatable without opiates.
It can
I know ways.
regulate the pain a bit, but I can't live with it at full strength. So
you can't enjoy your life when you're in pain. The things people take for granted when they haven't got pain and they're just carrying on with their life. And then when they're in pain, they're like, I wish I could
pain
back to that time. Yeah. sentence it is.
Well, you know, I'm just thinking that you wouldn't be in this position today if you hadn't been kicking your damn dog. So, anyway,
No, all your fault. Damn racist.
well, have you been watching? Or were you sleeping? You just wake up and get in here, or you been watching? What, Martin? Stop! We
I was
continue.
just looking at that. That bird. I was wondering what it was. I thought it was.
I didn't see that.
You got anything you want to talk about that we've been showing here? Is there anything you want to jump in and put in?
Not at all.
Okay, all right.
Y'all crazy. I'm just here having fun.
I know you're making fun of us. Yeah, I know. Anyway,
Okay.
come on, put on your tinfoil hat again, Martin. I got mine on. Let's continue.
Do y'all continue? Right then, obviously,
I wasn't watching.
I just got a feeling a lot of that landscape you were witnessing, what you see in the Wild West films like this, is man-made from previous occupants. I really do. The size of these mesas, they're not natural.
Okay. Well. Hold on a second.
It's great, man.
Now,
it's striations.
Wait a minute. You gonna tell everybody where these things are or not?
Yeah, they're on the Crimea. Part of this expansive Sebastopol mining operation for limestone. This is limestone.
Yes. And you see where they've cut, and it's just a nice slope of rock or cuttings or dust or debris going down from there. This is an old quarry right here.
Old quarry. So you got to ask yourself, because of the scale it is, what kind of machinery were they using? Considering they was, these guys never done that.
They use the same thing then as they use now.
What about that?
And people would say, well, where is that equipment now? And it's like, have you ever been to a fucking mine recently? They take every damn thing out of it. They recycle everything. Hell, they don't even you think that they rode old trains into the train graveyard? No, man, they recycle every damn thing they've ever used. This could be a combination of things. This could be a mine and a riverbed.
Well, this is famous, the Inkerman Valley, because this was there was a battle during the Crimean War, the Battle of Inkerman, just down from this valley. You may know the Charge of the Light Brigade. Yes. Well, this was one of the valleys down from here. They went through this valley to get to it. Inkerman Valley, I've read about. It's not a river valley, Jeff. This is not a glacial valley, obviously. I don't believe in glaciation anymore. I've discussed this or any of their geology. This is clear to see that they can do it on that scale. The previous occupants, they were mining.
Well, they did all kinds of. Wait, hold on. Before you move from there, let's hold on. All right, hold on. Now, keep in mind. A lot of old mining operations that you see also turned out to be, in my opinion, dams later. So that's what they do with mining operations today. Yeah. They make dams, they make lakes, they make all sorts of things. So when you're looking at this stuff, always keep in mind it's been thousands and thousands of years. They could have had water in these places at times. They could have been mining at times. You can't discount anything, and you kind of got to look at it all lumped together, Well,
you can see some of the evidence of these cultures smashed. One I've been studying is called Lake Van in eastern Turkey. There's a reason why I'm looking at this area, where I've found geoglyphs in the landscape, similar to the Nazca lines. I have found arcing evidence and evidence to 4 separate civilizations. Now, I was contacted by a guy who lives in the city of Van and said, wow, for you to discover this was something. Yes, they keep this. They won't even have the tourist board advertise this place. I said, you're joking? No. He said they won't even explain it. They can't explain it. You can see the evidence to 4 clear civilizations. You can count them back. Yes. It's stunning what I found. It literally, I couldn't even believe it when I found. I was astounded at the evidence in this place.
They'll tell you a fucking pyramid is just a pile of rocks the farmers piled up to make room for the farm the land and shit.
It wouldn't even surprise me. But this is that. Look, we can't really give an age to these photographs. I don't trust them. I've got photographs the same color, Jeff, right? In Moscow, right? A beautiful palace in Moscow, but there's palm trees in the forecourt. So palm trees in Moscow, this place is freezing. So is that from the click back, the reset back? Now, I know it sounds nuts, but envision this. St. Petersburg is apparently built in 1750s by Peter the Great, who himself lives in a log cabin, by the way. I've seen it, guys. A log cabin. Yeah, he builds this stuff, they say, official narrative, like you would not believe, guys. The stuff in St. Petersburg, all built on a swamp. They moved the capital from Moscow to St. Petersburg, built on a swamp.
And didn't, and didn't even speak the language of the people they were ruling.
I know.
And built it in a matter of years with these farmers that could do some of the most amazing architecture I've ever seen.
In St. Petersburg, Jeff. That's what I'm trying to say. All them sculptures, that one you just witnessed, all of the Hermitage and the Winter Palace, how many months can they build a year? They went through the Monza minimum building this stuff, apparently. The Middle Ages cold period.
They did it when they had lanterns. They were using lanterns. And
yeah, what? So then it was snow on the ground.
Bullshit tools, and they were... They knew how to pour fucking granite concrete. I can tell you that.
See that video of New Earths about St. Petersburg when they got on the top of this building, literally these granite piers, and they're like 100 foot up in the air, and each one's like 200 tons. They're trying to imagine what kind of machinery could have put it up there. I can't even imagine. You need the giantest cranes you got now today to do it.
No, it's all they're all hollow, man. They're I mean, you could call them.
Do you think a lot of them columns are hollow?
I think that they started off with like they were like trees that were bound together, and then they just kind of went over it like they were doing. Think of it like plaster work, but with a granite plaster. Think of how smooth and how detailed you can make stuff with plaster when it's wet. I've seen guys work with plaster, artists that can make curves and swoops and all kinds of things. Well, think of being able to do that with granite. And there's how you got some columns.
No, that's today, mining today in the Euro, right?
Remember, it's still man that was building this stuff. He just man with different knowledge. Just like you're looking at a mining operation here, it's amazing. You're watching men do it today, doing this stuff, building the machines that does this stuff. And if you were to walk up on some of these machines, you'd say it just seems impossible that you could even build these things. But we do.
We do. But
now, stop. Back up a little bit. Just
that's Utah, that one.
Okay. These will be future terrorist farms.
Yeah.
These will be, it's another 1,000 years from now. It'll be green everywhere. These will be farms, people growing rice on these terraces, walking around in their little.
And the geologists full people shitting how they came about, Jeff.
Yep. They'll be telling the same stories that they heard from somebody they heard it from, and yep.
Looks like narrow gauge railways and mining go hand in hand, doesn't it?
Sure, it sure does. You can't have one without the other. I can go back over. I can show you some stuff better than this, Martin. I'd show you some really cool stuff.
I bet you could. I got unbelievable stuff for it, boy. Look, these are just examples of big machinery.
Right. Okay. And yeah, if you walked up on these things, that machine, that wheel right there, that fucking, well, that's a good picture right there. Look how fucking big these machines are. You might look at this wheel and you think, well, that's not that big until you learn that it's like 300 feet long, and you know, it'll take out, you know, it takes out an acre of land at the time, an acre of land a second. Man, they can take that whole mountain apart in just a matter of months or years, man, depending on what they're doing. Look at those fucking machines. Look at those machines.
Show up on that. It's too big. Where are the men? There must be little dots in
it. They've been, and I think it must be constantly growing from the bottom and regurgitating itself, and that's how they can keep mining. And then you can see evidence where they mined and then they fell back, then they stopped mining for a long time and then fell back and started mining it again.
Did you see the prophecies of the Russian clairvoyant boy that I posted about and you have posted about, Jeff?
No.
The one
yeah. No, I know who
what he said about all this? On the mining? Big part of his narrative. He was a flat earther. He said the earth's flat, astronauts are lying. He said that the mining operations, he said our predecessors were miners. There's big tunnels underneath us, and the more we hack into them with our fracking, he mentioned that word, they weren't even around. With fracking, drilling. He said they're undermining it, and it's causing these sinkholes, which are increasing. Look
Okay,
at
this is Antarctica right here. This is about this planet.
Yeah,
This is strip mining in Antarctica. Oh, too bad that fucking snow melted away. We can see some shit like that. Fucking global warming. Fucking global warming.
Active volcanoes, Jeff. 70 active volcanoes at this moment.
Yeah. Yep.
It's melting. No doubt about it. I've seen the evidence. Look at that then, Jeff. Right? This is mind-blowing. Look at that, right? This is in Antarctica, right? But look at this. The striations. Machinery, man.
Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen it. I know exactly what you're looking at.
Place, yeah?
It's crazy.
Look at that. What geological forces could create that when it's identical to mine?
Now they say that this is this one, not this. Yeah, this is a good one. Where all you see the little green lines, it's where these wind pockets get in there as the wind rushes through. That's a goddamn strip mine.
Exactly. You see where the crane's been in? He's gone drill. The predecessors.
But see, when there was 100 feet of snow here, you couldn't see this stuff.
Exactly. But maybe it was just I think a lot of Antarctica is not fucking, whatever it is not fucking frozen. I think there's massive tracts that are not. I think this volcanic areas.
Well, I know that there's more cities under the water than there is above, as far as the old stuff. Do I believe that Antarctica is fucking covered with snow and ice? Yeah, I believe Antarctica is covered with snow and ice. But that might not have been. Hell, I know Africa they said it had fucking ice in Africa at one time. I mean, they don't fucking have any idea. Yeah, this could have been plush, beautiful fucking land with greenery all over it and trees and just, you never know.
They don't know how deserts arrive though, Jeff, as well. That's a bit of an enigma in itself. How they're growing as well. Deserts are. So they don't know how they arrived. I think it's part of this as well.
How about all the mysterious piles of fucking dirt in these chains and groups everywhere? You know what I'm talking about? Like in a grid pattern. I ran across some shit like that. I was like, man.
I know, man. It's mind-blowing. I liked what Sylv said about some of these, like we got in Wales, in the valleys by me, things called slag heaps. And the giant mountains are just called slag. And one of them came down and killed like hundreds of kids years ago up the valleys. World famous Aberfan event. Well, this one I work next to, it was in a place called Llanbraddock, and I said it's massive, that mountain, to the guy I was working for. He says not a mountain, it's a slaggy. And I said, well, what if that moved? Wouldn't it kill everyone in this valley? He's like, yeah, this thing was huge, and they were right down the valley. None of them were natural. They were all slag heaps. I blew my mind. So I thought, oh my God, so many areas are like that where they're, so does heat build up inside these things the way it would with a pile of compost?
Well, I mean, for all I know, like Antarctica, whoever can actually do some real geoengineering on this planet or plane or whatever the fuck we're on, they can lock off a partial of land, no problem. They can lock it off. They can make it inaccessible, inhabitable.
Agreed.
Whatever you want to call it.
That's supposed to be the highest mountain in Greenland, Jeff. 3,700 meters high. That looks like a pyramid.
Looks like a pyramid or the remains of
a mining operation. Look at that little settlement down there. That's crazy. That high up, though. Wow. All right. We got them tonight in the UK, Jeff.
We got what?
It was on the news earlier. They said keep a lookout for them in the UK. I see them this south. I've seen them up in Scotland. They're mind-blowing. I stayed there all night just watching them, mesmerized. Most amazing thing you will ever see. But yeah, Antarctica looks like it's been ravaged, considering they say they're keeping it pristine. Look at that one. That is just.
And see, this is another reason why Admiral Byrd came back.
Yeah.
And he said there is evidence of coal, gold, plutonium, or whatever, uranium. Yeah. How did he know all this shit? Because he fucking flew over to mines and he could tell by the colors of the dirt and stuff and what was what. You know, he was like, hey, yeah, man, there's all kinds of shit down there. How would he fucking know any other? How would he know? He only flew over a lot of this shit in his little dinky plane.
Well,
I a little rock testing kit. He was locked away in a little tent whenever he'd be out of his plane. Shit, man, that dude was seeing mines everywhere. That's why he knew there was so much shit down there.
He did a geophys. I seen a documentary on it. They had 2 planes doing like a geophys, but and one on the ground with what they call was ground penetrating radar. But I don't believe that technology to go into the depths of seams in them temperatures and all of that. I just don't believe that they could map the way they're doing.
Well, ground penetrating radar that we have today fucking sucks. So
well, Jeff, I got the existence of you know, I collect these catalogs. I got a 1733 atlas, which shows you basically it's marked out all the water courses and aquifers under the ground, really deep, hundreds of meters down. So how are they doing that in 1733?
Yeah.
Well, they're using divining rods, aren't they?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So,
or somebody's fucking showing them a goddamn map and saying this is where the water is.
Oh, they got more advanced tech.
No. Like whoever we're taking the gold to is saying they're the ones giving you the tech, giving you the knowledge. They're the ones that always gave you the knowledge and let you build off of it. But yeah, they can give you secrets like that. No problem. They know exactly where the water's at. They know exactly where the gold is at. They can't handle mining equipment by themselves.
What about the Grand Canyon then? It could be a mining operation.
Well, it could be, and it could have been. I don't know that there's any. You know, like I said, we know that Mount St. Helens made the Little Grand Canyon, but the Little Grand Canyon doesn't look exactly like this right here. No, but it's still 3 times deeper and half as long.
I know,
and it was created in a matter of minutes. So you know, and who's to say that cataclysms don't alleviate a lot of process to mine more, to get down deep without having you know what I'm saying?
I'm envisioning what you're saying, Jeff, and like these, that's why
they'll take advantage of
Russia.
They'll take advantage of natural shit like that. They'll take advantage of that. Why wouldn't they?
It's not bad.
Just like they'll take over our old houses and buildings and stuff like that. They don't knock it all down. They just kind of say, "Oh yeah, we built this." It's like, well, where's the plans? Oh, we ain't got the plans. You built this shit right here, and you ain't got the plans locked away somewhere. No, we don't even know who built it, but it doesn't matter. It's here. We built it.
That's my mate.
Yeah, that's cut.
There's no way this is natural because you can see they're yeah.
That looks like they were actually trying to pick another piece, a bigger piece, right? That's
you know how they do it, Jeff. They can either drive wedges this way and then hammer them in and split it, or you can basically light fires underneath them and hit them and split them that way. There's loads of ways, but this is like this is the way with the other way with the spikes, the pikes they put in, and then they whack them in. And then it splits the stone. I've seen it happen in the Middle Ages. I've got pictures of it. So that it's identical to what you're seeing there. Identical.
What's up?
But hundreds of meters up in the air. We're looking at giants.
Go ahead. Continue, Martin. Tracy just came out here to talk to me. I'm going to go mute for a second. You just keep
brother. Well, I'm going to get something else up a second because this is just going to be loads of pictures of mining, I think. You just have a look a sec. Oh. I've actually been to a couple of these quarries, believe it or not. I was working as a stonemason, where there are giant saws cutting huge blocks of stone. I stood there mesmerized, water spraying on it, a blade of about 25 foot high. Check that out. So I don't think they're natural features. I can't imagine any natural forces that would cause this. Water washing it away. That bit's a bit stronger than the bit around it. No. Jesus, look at it. Uzbekistan, a place I've been looking into. Now this looks like Lake Van. No, it's not. It's Uzbekistan. A place I've been looking into is Quarry Death. I
got called to the carpet.
I tell you what, have you ever seen the state of the Athabasca tar fields, Jeff?
The who tar fields?
It's in Alberta. Alberta, in Canada. The whole state is devoted to the Athabasca tar pits, which are open cast tar pits. Apparently they say Paleolithic or whatever. Supposed to be dead critters, but obviously bullshit. I just want to bring up my Google images a minute. Excuse me. Okay.
Tracy just called me down. Tracy just called me down for interrupting you, so I'm not going to interrupt you no more.
Oh, it's all right. I can't talk forever, Jeff. my mouth's going to shit. This is from that book of ingenious devices. There's a couple of images in here of most ingenious cog work you've ever seen in your life. This is discovered in Egypt 2 years ago. I've got a bit of a reader on it. I don't know whether it's believable. It's an article saying that this is a giant's finger they found in Egypt. No, I wish they had the Coke can next to it to show you how big this thing is. This is big. This here is about maybe a foot long, and this bit is here. I got other pictures on this. I was looking for earlier for you, Jeff, to show you this article where they got doctors looking at it, and that looks very official. And this thing's big, and it just can't be anything else. More use of technology we shouldn't have had. But this was on the telly, that film I mentioned, Jeff, with the azimuthal equidistance in the background, and they were plotting courses on it in a shitty sci-fi film, a B movie. It was so crap, it was good. But look at the azimuthal in the background. Whatever. I haven't even seen that one. On a 50s film. All right, let's move on. This is in, I wish I could blow it up. This is a camp after the event of 1811, right, Jeff? They're all camped out. And look what's in the background. A pyramid, mate. It's a pyramid. It's in Missouri. Or it could be a mining spoil. Can't tell no more. That's more of the evidence of the mud flood of 1812. This is not something you could pinpoint. A geologist can pinpoint to millions of years or sedimentary deposit from where the seas were over it. And all them sea creatures and shit died down and receded back over eons of time. That's what's left. In this occasion, geology can't say that. This happened at an instant. All of it. The events of this is what was shown. This is a field in the same area with a thunderstorm had gone into a wheat field and it's basically struck the field. Now, you get this. You get liquefaction of the land, arcing points. And if you look on a landscape on Google Earth, you will see a giant lake. Now, I'm starting to think that literally these things can be massive, as in Caspian Lake massive. Because you've got Caspian Lake and you've got the Black Sea in between them. You've got the Urals. I just can't help thinking they were pushed up by one of these events. But liquefaction. So this has happened right all over that year. Oh, this is just globe programming, Jesuits. Trying to turn maps. As an overseer, they're discussing maps. They're looking at them. They're measuring them up. And they're trying to make them work on a ball. This image is from
That's funny.
Look at him. He's trying to do the same. He's trying to make this shit work. Yeah, it's Jesuit overlords going to make him. Now, this is Mecca, the Hajj. Very religious significance.
When was this? What is this? And when was
now, this is the interesting part, Jeff. When you read into the antiquity of any city in the Middle East or Europe, now, Damascus, I looked into it, the oldest inhabited city on Earth. Unfortunately, the art records and the maps do not verify this. The earliest I got was 1500, and it was fucking rubbish. Now, Mecca, they would say the same. This place was up and running, and the Hajj was there. The main place for pilgrimage to Mecca. Now, this is in the early 1700s. And what you see,
aqueduct right behind it.
The aqueduct is mind-blowing in itself. Yes, Jeff, but it's a ticket-only occasion. It's a ticket kiosk. You buy tickets, queuing, they're going through. They're going once around the Hajj and then back out again. But
where the fuck did you get? What is this picture? What is it? What are this?
I got one to make your fucking hair.
What's the citation on this picture? Where did this picture come from? Who painted it?
I just find them online, mate.
Oh, okay.
I got thousands of pictures that do not fit with official narratives. Oh, these are my John Speeds. Let me just forward over these. I got you the atlas I bought. Actually interesting because this guy went around England. And what he's managed to document in 1607 is intact Roman stuff, which proves there was intact Roman stuff at that time. Also, these are measurements, Roman measurements, as in hurls. And really intriguing. My favorite atlas, and I got another atlas I've ordered called the Phantom Atlas on the way. Which you see that, guys. Globe programming, just to show you. 1500s. If you don't believe that they are programming it, here is your Masonic compass. It's set at 23.5 degrees. Just so happens to be exactly the same as the actual tilt. You think that's by accident? My ass. These encoders have come unstuck with it all. They've encoded it. It's ridiculous the amount of encoding into the globe, especially with the 666s. And there's no denying this happened. There he is again. This is the John Speed. Look at his face. He's looking up. He's thinking,
"Hey, it's Tiger Dan."
Yeah, it's Tiger Dan. He sent me an email, Jeff, right, and said to me, "I want some words with you, Matt." Basically, I met Tiger Dan in a cafe and had a word with him, and I sent him a mail back and said, "What? Like, you presuming that I give a fuck?" Look, this is John Speed.
Let me say something about Tiger Dan while you're on him.
Go ahead. I got on with him.
I watched Tiger Dan go out of his mind trying to reconcile a map. And when he finally stood up and said, "I can't do it," I saw 1,000 people fucking give him shit and make him the bane of their existence. And nobody sat down in that fucking chair. Nobody.
Man, have you ever seen anything like that, Jeff? Like an entire community coming at you?
And nobody sat down in that fucking chair and said, "Hey man, fucking he worked on it for the last 6 months. I'll take a crack at it."
No, I was working that week.
I know you were. No, I'm not, but you weren't talking shit about him. I'm saying everybody that was talking shit about him, nobody sat down at that chair. Nobody.
Yeah, man, you're right there, Jeff. They didn't give him a chance. There's no benefit of the doubt, is there?
He wasn't a cartographer. He was a religious guy. Man.
We couldn't get it together between us. There was a few of us on it, and it was the early days, as you know. There was no Dr. Zacks or anyone around back then. It was just fucking us trying to get this shit together. It was hard. We knew the inaccuracies in the AE model 3 years ago that they're all banging on about now, like they just fucking discovered it. Tries to be nuts. But trying to make it work is impossible without full exploration. We don't know what's out there. Without full exploration. Now, more annihilation in history. This one, 1300s. I mean, it's a depiction of moving pictures, as in the cinema, in the Middle Ages. This is basically a What the Butler Saw, or the Peep Show. The little boy's looking through an oculus, and the guy's turning a crank to give you moving pictures. So I believe that everything we think we know, like photography, moving pictures, trains, the lot, were around before, but maybe not on such a massive scale. But this proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt to my eyes, especially with the
what is the thing on top of it? What?
I'm not sure. I think it's electrical. I'm not really sure, Jeff. I thought it was a weather vane first of all, but it appears to be maybe electrical. I can show you use of electrical.
Meaning it's got some sort of, he wouldn't have. What is that?
Crazy, isn't it? Made out of stuff make your hair curl.
As crazy as the picture is, just the thing on the top of the thing is even crazier than
I got ceramic Tesla towers in 1733 Nanking, and I shit you not, they actually, I thought, no, it can't be. And then the next picture I went over, Jeff, I posted about it the other day, blew my mind. Next picture I went over, and it actually said in big letters, porcelain. They were made of porcelain, exactly the same as an electrical pylon, what you would see today. Exactly the same, conducting electricity or producing it. And the whole place was an installation. And guess what, Jeff? Mining again. This is a picture from this period called Titan, and what you're seeing is liquefaction and eradication.
Yep.
This is on. I could show you 1,000 images right now from every artist of this era. Right now, I could show you, and they all show you the same, and they will blow your minds. And it is we are straggling at this time, a post-apocalyptic society, and we took about 200 years to get farming back together, things like that. When the war.
Wait, those are statues on the top of those pylons. The other picture.
Which ones?
Yeah, go back. Those. Look, no. Keep going forward.
This.
No, next one.
I got bigger ones than this, but this is
no, the next one.
That.
No, that one, right there. Look. No, damn it! You keep passing it. Back up one. That. Look at the top of the columns. Look at the top of the columns. There's statues on top of the columns. Those are statues on top of the column.
Fucking hell, Jeff. Oh my.
You didn't see that, did you?
No, Jeff, I fucking didn't. What? I've got to drop that in the link to find out the fucking more info on that. I only picked it up a day or two ago. I thought, you know what I thought it was? When I first looked at it, I thought it was evidence of machining. I wanted to look again at it, but I never got around to it. This is electricity used in early 1700s, 100 years before Tesla and Edison. This again, more evidence of electricity, 100% being used. This one is earlier than the 1700s, so pretty much their bullshit is falling apart. This is stuck in the side of the cliff.
Nice.
What is it? Now, is it a giant's golf ball? When you look at it closer,
Giant's croquet
it looks
ball.
like it's been on a wheel. I don't know. You see the lines in it anyway. Maybe in two. Maybe there's something in it. I don't know.
Well, that was a natural formation.
No, that's not the only one of them.
In a geology book.
Loads in this area. These things. There's a beach, and they're not there like them Olmec circular stones. These are different. These are smaller. More. They got these striations. They're not like them perfect circles you see in.
Like they've been rolling on.
Like they've been, yeah. I believe.
They always knock the.
But you want to start with these, Jack? Just another example. I could give you many. How and what happened? Well, we know what happened.
They always knock the heads off.
That's another one of my favorite non-existent artists, Benini, who I've been looking into this week. It's impossible for a 23-year-old man, 23-year-olds, to not get off the fucking bed to get up and produce on his own, solo, all of them works. I'll show you shortly.
And nobody saw him do it. Nobody wrote a book on it.
No contemporaries were allowed in, Jeff. A bit like that guy in Coral Castle. Yeah. This is Piranesi artwork showing you Rome in the 1600s, early 1600s. But what you always see, I could show you literally 1,000 images right now of Rome is a shit pit. There's no infrastructure. The stragglers, the statues are still there. It looks like it's been underwater for a bit. This one's not showing vegetation, so it's soon after, and all smashed masonry. You get this on countless images there again, or this, this sort of era. There's artists in this era like Gainsborough, or even what was his name? Had done the Hayway, Constable. Even he had covered this era. Caravaggio. Some of them had been traveling to these. So you got two ways of thinking of it. These people are tripping, and it never happened, or this shit really went down. Now this is a massive, intriguing picture, and the Piranesi again. Now Piranesi, Giorgio Piranesi, Italian. The story is he went out there, he's seen this stuff, he painted it. So you're seeing an obelisk smashed from the event, and pyramids buried. So if that's the Sphinx,
not just pyramids, but 3 pyramids: the sun, the moon, and the dragon, with a freaking dick dildo sitting right out front. Yep.
Yeah, man, you got it. And people dressed in basically early Victorian clothing, and dancing in a circle.
Oh, look, there's a Sphinx down there.
Yeah, and look at the size of the people to it. They're
so he was in Egypt? He was in Egypt? Or is this another Egypt?
I got a problem. I got hundreds of Piranesi pictures, which will show you Rome. It's got pyramids, but they're not the same dimension. So I got to feel like this. This is Piranesi. This is obviously got Greco-Romano temple smashed. Yep. It's after. It's got the vegetation. The water is still there. This guy's fishing in it. Look, Jeff. The water's still there. These are the stragglers, but they're a big pyramid. So this isn't Rome, isn't Athens, because it's Greco-Romano. So this is Rome.
All right, stop. Stop. So, wait, stop.
Everything's in that. I got better than this.
Stop. The Parthenon.
Looks like Athens. Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. No, I'm just talking about the columns. The columns at the Parthenon, they were tapered up, meaning they were thicker at the top than they were at the bottom, because they didn't want to leave. They didn't want to leave an optical illusion that they were tapered up. They wanted them to look at all angles like they were the same width from top to bottom, but they knew standing at the bottom or far away, there would be an so if you look at how they built the Parthenon, which is crazy, and then you look at this and you say, well, okay, these columns are not tapered.
No, they're not.
Okay,
It's got a fasten on the bottom.
Right.
Oh wow! So
Okay.
they haven't really been through a lathe, have they?
No, well,
Wow.
I think it's just older than the Parthenon. Whatever this is, it's older than the Parthenon.
Well,
Of course.
there's a lot of questions to be asked with Pyrenees. He blows my mind. This is
So
yeah, but this pyramid is not the dimensions of the pyramids in Egypt, right? This pyramid is showing up all over Rome.
It shows up all over Asia too. Asia, the pyramids are really skinny and tall like that.
And exactly the same again. The water's still down. It hasn't exactly receded. And the smashed up civilization with the stragglers, exactly the same. Except the elites, they're okay.
Okay, stop again. Sorry, goddamn, man. I know that everybody out there is probably getting mad at me because I keep stopping you, but they don't understand how me and you even used to work, man. Me and Martin are working right now. Y'all are just watching us work.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got the door in the pyramid, and if you look at that, that's going to be a more of a Western archway over a door. But look, remember the first picture you showed with the relief cuttings and the Spanish guy sitting? He was kind of laid across the top of it. And if you look at this is going to show about the same kind of scene, same painter. He's showing somebody up there on top of the shit, just fucking around on it.
Yeah,
this dude's admiring the relief work on the column. You got a perfectly intact statue. You got old stuff. You got new stuff. You got another obelisk back there in the very center, back in the back past the pyramid. Mm-hmm. But the door going into the pyramid is very, very, very
European.
Much just like, well, no, the ones that they find in Asia and China. And
or I was thinking actually Petra. You know, the entrance to Petra.
And Petra too. So looking at this, what are they laying on? They're laying on probably the polygonal freaking megalith that was there. And then because I'm looking at the columns too. Those columns are not tapered columns.
No, they're different sections. You can see.
Yeah, they're sectional columns, and that is much older stuff. The newer columns are all kind of solid. Like the ones in St. Petersburg, they're going to be solid columns.
Yes. Yeah. These Canisius are a definite giveaway for this culture. This one that got destroyed because they all spoiled exactly the same Canisius on the top of the pillar. This is what I look for. The same style. It's so intricate, it's hard to produce, you see.
Yes.
And that is them.
Okay.
So I think, you're right there, Jeff.
Go ahead and continue. Sorry.
Yeah, he is stunning. He blows my mind, Piranesi. I've got to be honest. So again, but the clothes are of people from a later era, which proves that this was really a not long ago event. And you got like obviously the same again, but maybe different civilizations built on top of civilizations, and then the next reset.
And they're showing growth all over this, like it was down in Peru or something with crap growing all over. Look back in the real background. Way back, there's a ocean back there. Just look at the clouds, everything. What the hell is that on the rock on the right? Is that an animal?
It's a dog.
Oh,
little dog, a little spaniel and sheep, and some cows and a couple.
So is he depicting some travelers, or maybe one traveler and one guy with his sheep?
Maybe this water's still on the ground though, so it's not too long after. And there's water in the background, so it might be still flooded.
So the step up top probably was sticking out of the water for a long time, and that's why it has shit growing on it.
Jeff, I always think it. And this vegetation only takes one summer to come back. You know that.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is during not long after when the water's well, you know what that is. That's the New Monty map.
Meaning the water wouldn't have the top of that stuff was sticking out of the water for a while before the rest of it was sticking out of the water, or there'd be growth and vines. He would have drawn growth and vines all down the walls and all down those columns.
Yeah,
does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. And I got many examples to show you this. No, this is not the Colosseum I went in or look anything like it, because this is a Piranesi again. It comes direct down here. There's a long bit that's straight here, so it's been tarted up. Now this is a Piranesi again, so he's done this in the mid 1700s of an earlier time. He's witnessed when he was a young man going there. So what you got? The same again, smashed up architecture. The plant's grown over. Now this is the Constantine arch. Now I've got images of this and other arches covered up to here in mud. but this thing goes a lot lower. Okay, these pillars go a lot lower, and so does the actual Colosseum itself. Now, there's no infrastructure, there's no streets at this period. This is supposed to be this is shit
paved. It should be
kid.
Paved, right?
Yeah, paved. Not even that. It's like the worst medieval town. And
Well,
piles.
the pavement's there. It's the pavement's there. It's just down deep.
Yeah. So you can see what's happened, can't you? It's devastated. And it's not from what the official narrative is 2,000 years ago, ancient Rome. This is this reset of this 1,000 year ago or less event. Oh, that's one of my best NASA busts. I had 30,000 views on that. 25. I did. I had 25,000 views on that.
That was the stupidest fucking picture I ever seen.
Mate, it's in now. There's all screws missing everywhere on it. Look, it's fucking plywood.
Hilarious. Look, he's at 10,000 feet.
Fucking nothing. Check this out, right? This is in space, guys. Just in case you believe in space, shit, right?
You fucking hate it, space.
Right, just in case you believe in space, right? So you don't need screws because it's only in fucking space. There's one missing there. There's one missing there, and there's plywood. Apart from the gaps, don't worry. There's only a vacuum. So we'll ignore that. So we got there's a screw missing on you. I got another shot. Two missing there.
They got a speaker out there. They got a stereo going.
Check the tweeter, Jeff. The tweeter, the car.
Yeah, the speaker. Yeah, the speaker. It's the speaker. It's the speaker group.
Am I making a mistake?
High tech looking.
Screw missing.
Pulled a speaker. That's right. I see
Screw missing. So this thing's in space. Yeah, unfortunately, the fucking thing is got loads of screws missing. This thing here is the worst, though. Got one there as well. But you can see chipboard. You know, normal plywood, Jeff. You can see the the normal ply. And there's gaps. So
and aluminum tape everywhere. That aluminum heating and air tape is everywhere, all over it.
Mate, it's gaffer tape.
All down the seams. Yeah, that tape down the middle, right there. You can see the tape everywhere. The silver tape everywhere on it.
And this is supposed to be what was called. This is Buzz, and this was the first ever Buzz spacewalk. And apparently this was called. I think it was the Gemini mission. And look at the TV aerial, Jeff. I had one on the back of my little black and white in my bedroom in the 70s. Same one as that. I did. It was the same one as that.
All covered up with some aluminum foil.
Yeah, man. Bit of shit. So they say that this went up there. There's a bit of daylight coming out, but it's only the moon, so what the hell? But yeah, they're missing everywhere. I picked this apart many times. Even on the superstructure, there's big screws missing, Jeff.
We need to find out who made a glass bottom plane. Who made a clear bottom plane that they could have done this like maybe in a blimp or something like that.
Look at that, Jeff. Is that a tweeter?
What
yeah? Look at the screws missing in the tweeter. It's in space, Jeff. It's in space. Look, NASA. They're telling truths, look. Look. Just to put things into perspective, like how nuts this kid is. Look, he's in space. Let's get over this shit.
Too bad we don't see a Home Depot sticker on it or something.
Look at it though, Jeff. It's so fucking crap.
Okay, that's Elf Castle stuff right there. That's Fairy Castle.
Yeah. Oh no, this is one of my best places to go to for discoveries. Lake Van. Eastern Turkey. I can find the existence of 4 civilizations. I found a tiny island in Lake Van, and there was a 17th century Coptic Armenian church. Had some very unusual glyphs on it. Now, there's apparently a monster in the lake. The Lake Van monster, one of the most famous monsters in Asia. So you look into it, and what you find out is there's towns, ancient civilizations, and cities in Lake Van, and they're telling you there's a monster in there, so you don't go nowhere near it or dive in there. That's a fact. So this thing here, you're looking at here, Jeff, on Lake Van, believe it or not, when you Google it, is the oldest settlement known to man, the oldest structure, fortress known to man. It says on Google for this structure, and it's one of the first. Now, it's very reminiscent of the Beaker people or the people in North Africa, the earliest supposed to be, peoples that they tell you about in their bullshit. They got this sort of studied, and this is a mud brick.
Yes, building. I've seen this before. Yeah, it went back to Africa. Yeah.
But you will see all around this area, it's built on, you can see stone there, and it's built on this arch is Victorian, it's recent, and this is I don't know, more, you know, a little bit further back. This thing is incredibly ancient. You can just see so many time transitions with Lake Van.
Water used to lap up against that wall right there. That used to,
well, this is Lake Van,
water
right?
To there. You can tell in that picture, water used to come all the way up to that bridge-looking thing. That one right there.
Yeah, you reckon?
That water used to be right there. Water used to lap up against that wall. That's why they built that wall, so the water wouldn't erode.
Yeah, man, I can see that.
Up high.
Yeah, man,
They wouldn't have built that. They wouldn't have built. I mean, they don't have a freaking wall right here where you're sitting in the picture. They ain't got no wall.
Lake Van is one of the most unusual lakes on Earth. For the reason being, it's the most highest saline lake on Earth. It's salt, and there was an earthquake, or sorry, a volcano, they say, in antiquity, and it cut off the only tributary to Lake Van, making it its own body, meaning the water in there is variations and there's no tributaries to it. Right. Very unusual for any lake. Yeah, and basically saline. It's highly unusual content of it. Now, this is on the banks of Lake Van.
Well, can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's highly back up one now.
Yeah, it's highly. I can give you a Lake Van picture.
Okay, it's highly salty, is what he's saying. It's highly salty. Right. So how it can become so salty is if you have a large body of salt water that gets trapped off like ocean water, and it just evaporates and evaporates and evaporates and evaporates and evaporates. Thus, the water level is going to go down, and the water that's left is going to be saltier and saltier and saltier and saltier. Okay, go ahead and continue.
Bang on, you got it. Exactly. That's exactly why this has happened. This is why I'm on this area, Jeff. This is why I stayed here. And God, you should see what I've discovered. I'm keeping a couple of files. I'm going to do unbelievable vlogs with them. This is on the banks of Lake Van. It's one of these doors that you have inside the cliffs, identical to that wormhole door that you see in Peru. I got an image further along. I mean, identical. It's carved in. Now, there's no reason for a door to be up so high on a cliff face. You know, it's not even going anywhere. So why are they cutting doors into cliff faces?
Yeah, I think it was going to be a relief kind of a statue.
Yes, place. An abandoned maybe, or a settlement.
Or they chipped the fucking statue out of it.
I've got evidence for that anyway. This is I know it's a shitty small image, but it's Allura. What they call is rock. Now, the geological reasons for its formation are bullshit. Lifted up shale from the apparent continental floor, from no apparent geological forces. Yeah, it gives you this complete chamfer, like it's been carved and watered. If you look into on Google Allura, it blows your mind. This is one found in Turkey. Sorry, Libya. And this, I got the name of this civilization somewhere, but this photo's really early. I'm trying to picture.
Now you see right here where you have the little square box in the top left with the little statue in it. That's what you were just looking at with missing the statue.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Little carved.
Because that's what they did. They did reliefs. They did reliefs in like picture boxes, or they put statues in their little picture boxes. So if it's just an empty picture box, it means that the statue is gone or the relief was chipped off.
Yeah, they've done that.
The door to nowhere. It's the door to nowhere thing.
Yeah. Well, this thing just spoils different civilizations. Adding to it, you can just see this has happened in this civilization. That's just an Indian quote about. Now, this is what I found in this Uzbekistan mining area. And when I scanned down on Google, I was looking at lakes for arcing, and I found a very unusual phenomena: a river with about 10,000 Oxbow Lakes. But Oxbow Lakes take pure time to form, so they are introduced Oxbow Lakes from this mining. And I found these, Jeff. I found this one, and unfortunately this bit wasn't clear, but a kind sub found it. I think he was a Russian, and he sent me, and the rest came through. And what you're seeing, this is immense, by the way. I mean, huge. In the landscape is, and it goes further up, and you've got huge squares in the landscape. This thing's, I believe, a pyramid. There's a river here. Can you see this line, the blue line?
Yes.
This is a river. This will give you some idea of the scale of this thing, Jeff. These are tops of mountain ridges. This thing is huge. There's no way it's a natural formation. It's not a city or anything. This is in the middle of nowhere. Nowhere. There's geoglyphs in the landscape. And I've got a video up. So I
They
got
set
the
it up
video
for irrigation, just like they would have done in front of a pyramid. They would have set it up for
Well,
irrigation and growing shit, because it looks
when
like
you get up by here, there's a lot more squares, and I don't know, maybe it's part of this mining thing. And I think they've been there a while. I
Sure.
really do
sure.
think they've been there a while. Oh, excuse me. Let me get. No, this is oh, that's more electrical evidence. I've got so much evidence. This is Lake Van. This is that Coptic Armenian church that I found. It's a really unusual church, Jeff, but it's built on another one and on another one. When you go on this island on Google Earth, you can go around here on Google Earth, blows your mind. You're thinking, what am I looking at? Skyscraper cities in antiquity are very
nice.
You've seen the Medina
Nice.
skyscrapers.
And
they are higher than this.
It's built on top of polygonal fucking mountain masonry.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? I know.
That ain't rocks broken up through time. That's polygonal masonry right there. Underneath it, underneath the big thing.
Yeah, I know. But this is just spoiling them. The different cultures are built on one another. You can see it anywhere you go, Jeff. It's just on the hillside in that area of Lake Van. I found just random on the hillside, Jeff. I shit you not, mate. This is in the center of the desert, in the Saudi Arabian desert. The reason I went to look at Allura as rock is because of this example. The people are small. There's a door inside, so I can only presume that there's a chamber or something. Maybe it even goes down, all we know. But there's nothing else in the area like it. It's just freaky and very unusual. And
where's all the debris from all the rock that they chipped?
God, it's not there. It's not there, Jeff.
Look, there's polygonal masonry underneath that. Look closely at the door. At the door, there's polygonal masonry underneath it.
Yeah, no, there is. There's stones. You can see them. Yeah.
Underneath the big ass rock is masonry.
Yeah, it's not unusual. This is
continue.
Yes, you just come in on a boat, and there's a staircase.
Oh, nice.
And you go straight up, and inside this cliff, believe it or not, is an entire cave system installation.
It's not a stairwell. It's not a stairwell. That's where they drilled through to chip the damn base of the rock off.
I know it is. One beautiful drill bit straight through.
Yeah.
But they've put steps in there. But I've got many examples.
Now, they probably have steps in there now. But why that exists is so they can chip off the rock.
I mean, I've got evidence of, and you can see where they've like sort of carve away with these.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. You can see the way the patina is on it. Everything.
Exactly. The patina. You don't get out
under the water. I wonder what's under the water.
Well, I have wondered. It's very deep, apparently. I'm like church there.
A really deep slope.
Well, this is the first lighthouse erected on Edison Rocks in Britain. It was built by Winston Stanley, 1696 to 1700, but it was destroyed in the 1703 storm. So the masts, the electricity, this box here, this aerial, this aerial, these wires going up to like this technology. This is technology, at least. And
what are they calling this? A lighthouse?
This is the Edison lighthouse now destroyed. There's another one there now.
Absolutely.
And this is the only picture available of it, Jeff. But it's spoiling basically high technology. And I've got literally a series of lighthouse. I got a theory about lighthouses, actually.
I got a theory that Tesla built that one.
Yeah, man, look at it. You're telling me that's not electrical? You're telling me that's not technical?
It's not a lighthouse. It wasn't built as a lighthouse.
You got it. I know. It's just, and because it's not there, and that's the only image, which just screams. And I've got other evidence of this across the plane as well, that they're doing this shit with the same technology on aerials, on lighthouses. So star forts I've been looking into. The missing people. Now, Jeff, we're supposed to be here a long time, according to their narrative. So there should have been millions that have gone before us. Unfortunately, they are not there. If you go into cemeteries looking for them, they're not there. The cemeteries only go back, if you're lucky, 1600
years.
Yeah. The rest of the dead are in their churches. And just if you think you're going to go and trust a church, this is under the Vatican.
Yes.
This is the Vatican necropolis. And they've got skulls. So who are the dead? Who are the dead? Who are the dead under the Paris? The Paris has got exactly the same thing. And most of the European cities are built on bones. St. Petersburg, the foundations are known to be human bones. I've discovered a lot about this sort of thing, and something I discovered with cornerstones as well, Jeff. It's very unnerving. But who are the dead? So this is from what I would say is from pruning of the nations. They keep this weird ass voodoo under their weird ass voodoo house to do their weird ass voodoo. This is under the Vatican.
And I also look at this stuff right here like this, and exactly what he's talking about, St. Petersburg. And every time I think about that, I always think how the mafia, when they kill someone, they'll put them in like concrete boots, or they'll put them in the foundation of a building. Like when they're pouring the concrete, they'll throw them in a bag and then they'll pour the concrete. This is what that reminds me of. I know
the foundations, didn't it? You're illegal there. You're illegal under the Vatican, just to give you the stamp of just showing you. It's just so interlaced. This got me. This is World War II propaganda from the Japanese. Now, it's what I got is the Manchurian campaign. So this is before World War II. The Japanese invaded Manchuria. You may know of the raping of Nanking. Well, this happened in 1935, and it was the precursor to World War II.
Yes.
So it's showing you, well, maybe a flat plane, a little island. Yes, yes, yes. Guy playing trains. What the fuck is the green lizard hand coming out of the wormhole with the arrow, Jeff?
Well, see, Martin, if you read a science book, you would know that is a lizard man.
Exactly. And I think about this book here, Cosmography from 1609, which shows you stuff across Europe. I get about 20 pages in, and there's a woman, and she's like down on her knees while a guy, his head peels back and a lizard pops out. I shit you not. I shit you not, Jeff.
Oh, shit. Hey, can we take a break? Can we take a 10-minute break?
Yo, please, I can't even talk anymore, Jeff.
Okay, let's take a 10-minute break. Everybody, me and him gonna take a 10-minute break. Y'all go pee, get you something to eat, get you something to drink. We'll be back to rivet you further.
That's good talk, wasn't it?
All right, 10 minutes.
Awesome. Hi guys, come to visit you now. Hey, Roy. Ron, sorry. Yeah, NASA shit, Joy, isn't it? NASA fondles balls. I liked your comment. I read it out on air yesterday. NASA fondles balls. Did you watch it? Watch it. I done comments. I done my funny comment response. Where I does funny comment responses. And you came up, because I really dig your name, NASA fondles balls. And she said, sorry, Matt, I was dishing your ass on Jeff's drive stream. Funny as fuck. Yeah, it's nice to see you, right? Fucking awesome. Fucking Jeff, fucking posse. Rob. What's happening, Rob? I'm watching your stuff. Yeah, I love this topic. It was so addictive, Rob. I want to see some of the stuff I got. It's fucking mind. Make your toes curl. It's good to see you, Tracy. Thank you. Thank you. What's that, Joy? Martin, I need to check out the earthquake of 1912 in North Carolina. Well, yeah, I got a link here. Earthquake. Sorry, a volcano. A volcano in North Carolina. Lava running down valleys. The circumstances are just unbelievable. I can't believe no one. This is not, more in the mainstream. What do I think of IOM? I don't know what that is. Sorry, I'm just being silly. I don't know what that is. IOM. But it is 3 o'clock and I am wrecked. No, yeah, this geologist woman, Joy, went there about 2-3 years ago. She done like a scientific paper for Science America. She's like supposed to be like great note. Her point of going there was to disprove the theory that there was a volcano in North Carolina, and she didn't. There's evidence everywhere that this shit happened. Apparently, there are a load of extinct volcanoes as well in Virginia. Jeff was telling me the Blue Ridge Mountains. Apparently, some of them are volcanic, but this is a proper big volcanic eruption coupled with 2,000 earthquakes, electrical acid storms, the ground being ripped open, entire villages being swallowed up, and they don't tell you nothing about it. I think we should know this shit, don't you guys? Yeah. That's non-33 orange juice, by the way. Okay, it's number 32. Oh. Do you know what? I never even shared this show out. What is wrong with me? Oh, man. Just a second, people. I fell asleep about 2-3 hours ago in a chair. Just telling you, funny story. Left the window open. I got a draft in my ear, and I got a fucking earache. Doing that again. It's freezing here, guys. We got snow coming. Apparently, and America has too. You got a big winter storm coming, apparently. So Eon says. So what do you reckon, guys? Got to ask you. First question I'm going to ask, guys, just out of interest, if you could tell me, while Jeff's gone. Somebody asked me today, trying to find connections, why some people wake up, some people don't. He asks me, did you have the BCG vaccine in school? No, I never. I was immune and I didn't need it. A few other people told me they haven't had it. And my mate, Lee, he told me he never had it. Has anybody not had the BCG vaccine? Apparently a cure for tuberculosis or something. So they say.
They test you here for TB before they give you the
vaccine. No, you're a daisy, don't you? A daisy, they call it.
Yeah. They just prick you, and if you break out, then you got to go get the vaccine or something like that.
Did? They didn't say I needed it. I was immune to TB.
Most people are.
Yeah, BCG. Yeah, really freaking hurts, apparently. My sisters went manky, and she had to go back. She spent about 6 months in pain with it. They had to redo it. Don't trust them BCGs. There's something going on. I've got holes all over my arms for inoculations.
Sure.
And vaccines I have no knowledge of what they are and what they're doing there. I had a small polio in a lump of sugar, pink sugar. We all had to turn up one day at the clinic, at a queue in a line, and eat a lump of sugar. Apparently cured.
Well, when you were Merchant Marines, were you didn't you have to get vaccinations before you pulled out?
Yeah, I had a few jabs in the ass.
When you first got started?
The skipper gave me my jab, somebody on the ass, about a month out. But, you know, I didn't, for the first year or so, it was only scooting around Europe. I didn't actually go down to Africa or the Middle Eastern countries till about the second year in. But I had jabs in the ass about a month in. I don't even know what they were because I didn't ask. I thought they might have been for 3D or something.
Right.
Inoculations, aren't they? But I would be, you know, regularly eaten alive by tropical insects and the like. But like, I'm me. Don't get ill. Things like that. Oh, I never got killed at sea. It's fucking beyond me, Jeff. Oh my God! Out of my ear.
Job. It's some dangerous shit.
If anybody knew what you got to put up with of a day to get through to the other end, to get back to that bunk, and it's just unreal. Every day is just a fight for survival, just to get it, you know, get it done, get this thing working. I was always on Mickey Mouse ships, not a great oiled machine like yourself, Jeff. I was on like some of the ships I've run. Only in one British registered ship I've been on. The rest were Mickey Mouse flags. First one was out of Honduras, Montevideo. Another one from Liberia. I'm not joking. Oh, really dodgy Mickey Mouse flags, Jeff. I've been on them all. All the dodgy flags you can name, I've been on. But I got into Brit. They wouldn't let me really in the British Merchant Marine, but I managed to get after I served as a second engineer, and I got on the Lloyd's Register. So then I'm on the Lloyd's Register, so I got my foot in the door. So
it's
then,
like a union, isn't it? The Lloyd's Register.
Yeah, exactly. So once I was on Lloyd's, then I got, you know, they accepted me on British registered ships, and the money was brilliant. But I gave the job up for basically to have a family. But we would have 2% of cargo. And I know it don't seem like a lot, Jeff, but when the cargo's worth millions,
sure,
it's a lot of money. So we were doing everything we could to get this, you know, these cargoes done. But we were like on these. This one I was on, two sister ships actually, the Island Dart and the Island Traveller, and we would just nip across to Europort, and if the weather was good, favourable, we could get maybe lucky 3 journeys in a week, 2 tops, for cargo. We were in the mid 1980s, and I was like a young man. I was raking in like, you know, thousands of pounds.
Were y'all hauling round trip or one way loads?
We sailing, as you know, sailing in ballast is a bastard, and we don't like to do it. So the agents would always fix a cargo close by if they could, so we didn't have to go too far or in deep sea in ballast, because you know we roll bad and everything else. So we would always be like what's called chasing cargoes. So say on a long trip, we would go from port to port. We would say pick up the next cargo and then get us further along. And the agents out of Bremen, our agents were in Bremen in Germany, for this particular ship, would set up the cargoes all the way, you know, to for our destinations. But we had to be there on time. We had to be out on time, because there's a thing called demurrage. And if you're stuck on that jetty when you're not supposed to be there, it can roll into tens of thousands a day. You got to get out, got to get it, the work done and get out. That means if you're awake for 48 hours, you got to do it. And then you just collapse. And this is just life constantly. So I got in the engine room off the deck.
And working around dangerous shit all the time.
Mate, things were blowing up. I saved everybody's life one night, Jeff. I was on the night. I used to do the dog watch in the engine room, 12 till 6 in the morning. I did this for years. Well, about a year in that one control room, actually.
You couldn't sleep, could you?
No, man, couldn't sleep. So the flames.
We call it fire watch in the Navy. You're calling it dog watch.
I'm just watching all the gauges, making sure nothing's overheating, checking the generator's temperature, you know, water pressure, all that. So in a control room, it's like a little engine cockpit, if you like. So I see in the window red, so I see this fire. And outside of the main engine is a fucking jet of flame shooting out of the injector into the bulkhead. And I mean, it's huge. And I think, oh my God, we're all dead. Now, the only way to get up the fucking stairwell, Jeff, I got to go under it. Under it. I did. I went under it.
What did it look like? Hold on. What did it look like? Did it look like plasma? Did it look like plasma?
That's in there, shooting out at a frightening rate and hitting the bulkhead red hot. The bulkhead, with the sea outside, was going red. I'm not joking. I'm gonna die. We're all gonna die. So I got overalls over my head. I run into the bed, and I hit the fucking red fucking thing on the wall, the red alarm, and everyone's come down. I got us all sorted. This is in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning. General alarms, all hands on deck, lifeboats, the whole works, Jeff. I saved everyone's life.
That is crazy.
Crazy as fuck. I had worse than that. I had loads happen on sea. Loads. Fires. They scare you. Because I knew I had to do something. Because I thought, if I'm trapped this side, so that's going to ignite the fuel, which is in a chamber above the main engine, like 70,000 litres, that's all. And this thing's going to go up like a nuclear bomb. So I've got to do something about it. I had no choice, really. But it was split-second thinking as well. I didn't even think about, like, I'm going to be burned to a crisp. Because this thing was so hot, Jeff. And I just went. Gap was that much. I was like a limbo fucking dancer, and I slid under on the plates. You would have loved me. I was brilliant. I was a fucking hero, and like nobody was there to witness it except the ghosts.
I bet every hair on your body was standing straight up, and when it was all over, you probably collapsed.
I collapsed for the shock of it all, Jeff. I was shaking like you leave.
I bet you did. When you're out at sea and there ain't nothing to save you.
It's an island, and you all got to rely on one another.
You are your island. There is nothing else.
Crazy.
And a damn big old, you could be on a 200, 300 foot boat, man. It feels like a little tiny bobber in the water.
We broke down, right, off the Finisterre Point in the Bay of Biscay in the Atlantic Ocean in a number 7 swell, right? And the engine has stopped, the main engine. Oh, so we go there, and one of the piston rings is blown. So we got to do in a swell an operation of lifting out with them big fucking apparatus to lift the engine room piston out while it's rolling, change the rings, drop it back in, put the cap on. Okay, this is a big operation, 2-3 hours work. Right. But while we're doing this in a storm, the lights, we got people up on deck. watching the lights, which have finished their point. We got no power. No power. And we're in a storm, and Finisterre lights are over there. So we're in a deadline. We got to get this fucking piston in. We got to get this ship working.
How many flashlights
we're on deck.
Going?
Happens all the time. Crazy, isn't it?
I tell you, man.
Things I've done. Loads. Brought the ship 2,300 miles back from Istanbul to Rotterdam. 4 men on a ship that needs 24 crew. The agents wouldn't pay wages. So all the crew walked off, me being me, and said, well, I wouldn't leave you in a shit. So 2 of us worked the engine room, two worked the bridge, okay? And we had a couple of women on board. I'm not including them, the cook and the captain's wife. It was hell. We ran out of fresh water. Not joking.
Damn.
It was hell. I can't tell you the state we were in.
You know how lame that is? Because monkeys with lanterns fucking built St. Petersburg. And just think of how lame y'all were. Monkeys with lanterns. No. St. Petersburg is an enigma. I'm telling you, I just can't get my head around it. And there's an existence outside of ancient glyphs, outside of St. Petersburg. I don't know whether you've seen them. Giant polygonals. We know there was giants. Yeah, I mean, they can't deny it. They can't deny a lot of this stuff. That anyway, let's get. Hey, wait a minute. We got to get back to your presentation. I know you still got another hour or two, so let's get to it.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, all right, fine. That's just a tease. All right, that's fine.
I got loads, Jeff. I got loads. Let me just show you something else a minute before I got like another half hour in me or so. I got to keep my mother up all night because she's just goofing off all day tomorrow.
Is she up?
No, man, she can't stay up. 3 o'clock in the morning.
No. Is your mama? She still up?
No, man, she's asleep.
Okay, all right.
No, it's 3 in the morning. If she's awake all night, she just goofs off all the next day. It's just no good for her.
What the hell else is she gonna do, man?
No, man.
Woman needs to do whatever the hell she needs to do whatever the hell she wants to do.
No, man. Her health's okay, but the problem is she's actually away with the fairies right now, and she's not really here anymore. It's awfully sad. Can't really have a conversation anymore. She talks to the telly. Thinks that relatives are on there. All sorts of weird shit goes down. But it's like second childhood, so I can't really talk to her anymore. So that's a problem.
Damn.
But
sorry, Martin, I didn't.
Man, it's hard. Yeah, she's gone. She had been gone for a while, but it's gone worse lately. She's away with a fairies, bad mate. It's just fucking terrible.
I'm sorry.
Don't know what's going on at all anymore. I'm gonna go Birmingham Friday. I'm sort of committed. People are gonna turn up. I gotta meet some people, like production crew, about this convention and shit. I got business to sort. Anyway, I gotta go Birmingham. No, I've been like 3 years doing this, like without any support, completely isolated, trying to make the best of this. And it's always like in adversity. Okay. So I got a sister, but unfortunately she's in Spain right now. Okay. She's there 10 weeks a year. Right. I'm seeing in 10 days. So she's got to have my mother. I think I'm definitely entitled to a fucking day off. Do you, Jeff? Fucking nightmare. Can't get any support. And if I asked the state, and I was like a living hell. I had a carer come in, yeah. Day one, she's opening my mail. I walked out the kitchen. I went, excuse me. I said, what do you think you're doing? Like, she could have a crackhead boyfriend and she's nicking my credit cards. I could have had PIN numbers on the way. It's illegal. She's like, oh, you got a bill due? I said, yeah, I'm completely fucking rational.
Yeah, I can read my own fucking mail.
Yeah,
Put it the fuck down. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're not here to read my fucking mail.
I said, you can go. I phoned up the people. I said, don't be sending any of them again to this house. They're not to be trusted. So that's the government. So,
oh, that's a government thing.
Well, that's when I tried to get external help in. There isn't it? It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, you know how where our medical system and your medical system for old people is two different things. So most time when you're talking about that, we can only relate it to our elder care here and Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security and retirement. And some people who don't have as much fucking get put in what looks like fucking prisons while some others get taken really good care of. So
I wouldn't let her go in there. She wouldn't be taken care of. That's not going to happen, like, ever. So I'll just manage, and selfishly, as long as I can, and just ride there. I'm doing all right. Managed to do this and fucking
well, as long as she
relatively successful in life. So,
and as long as she never hurts herself, or she doesn't seem like she's hurting herself, you know, she ain't gonna hurt nobody else. But as long as she's never,
she's safe and her health's good. You know,
yeah, and
she's
that's all that counts. That's all that
It's
counts.
Yeah, she fucking idolizes me, Jeff. He knows what she's like.
I know exactly what she's like. Yeah, I mean, I can see her being a little loopy on the end, but you know, we're all gonna get like that. Hell, you're probably gonna get like that before she got like that, Martin. The way they're chemtrailing us, you're already third leading cause of death over there. I dementia.
Just can't fucking see me being around that fucking long till 80. Right. Well, maybe, I don't know, but
no, I'm talking about before you start getting dementia.
Yeah,
I think the skies are going to be the last thing all of us remember. That's the last thing we're all going to remember seeing, is just the way the skies are now.
Yeah, man. This time, I can't even believe. I can't believe I was born in it. I think you feel like that. It's just.
I do.
I think to myself, why of all of the times do I have to be here now and be me and do the things like this? Like, and then I get this really, really strong sense that I've done this before. Yeah. Even the information that comes to me, Jeff, I'm like getting like groundbreaking information. Yeah. It just comes to me like I would say, the creator's giving it to me, or the internet's like, sort of, but it's not. It's like I'm just like, I know where I'm going with my journey, but I've got there yet. It's fucking uncanny, Jeff. And it's not me imagining it either. It's like really weird. I'm telling you. Really weird. And this feeling of I've done it all before as well. Honestly, I just can't get my head around it. I'm just going to share for a little bit and just have a little postulate, shall I?
Noodle away, sir.
Okay. Well, I've got a few more sort of photos to show you of.
Oh, goody! I love photos.
My Google is gone. Of excuse me, of some of my snaps. Now, this is the famous battle between Krishna and Arjuna. When you read this in the Bhagavad Gita, what's written in Sanskrit, apparently this biblical battle, you will read, obviously we all know the Vimanas and the Vimana spaceships that had weapons called Vimastras that were akin to nuclear weapons. You also get accounts of holographic armies on the hillside that weren't really there when you got to them, just evaporated, all sorts of weaponry. So this civilization existed, if they existed, in a place called the Indus Valley in what's now Pakistan. The Indus Valley civilization is destroyed. There's nothing there. And the evidence of vitrification. So I think the accounts of the Sanskrit battles are based on reality. More drill holes. This is one into, I can't really give you the scale, Jeff, but just I can assure you this is big. You've got striations as well, which just shows you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is a drill bit. To give you an idea of what sort of drill bits these things, or these past miners.
Well, I'm not, I don't think that's a drill bit, Martin. I think that was burned down. It was burned down.
Well, yeah, like the Russian one.
As it hit different spots, it burned more. A drill bit would leave a different striation, but that would be a hot ball going all the way down.
Yeah, when you get to the bottom, it sort of goes smaller as well. Are you with me? It's like,
because the ball would be disintegrating on itself. It's a hot ball.
I got that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and you can see liquefaction around the edges anyway. So it's very much like the Russian ones, that is, definitely.
Yes.
Olmec heads, obviously, you know about these.
Yes,
these are all over Central America, but obviously he's an African, isn't he? Yes. And he's Asian. So proving that it was the one international society.
Not like just that one laying there on the ground, man. They're all
everywhere. This is a funny story. Now, if you're aware of the conical, and the kind of fossil fuels, they're not really dead critters or plant life or fucking cabbage. They are possibly an embryonic fluid or a mineral deposit, basically a water, a part of our creation. Important how it fucking runs. Now, this con of fossil fuels was introduced around this time. This is the Great Exhibition that was in London in Crystal Palace in 1862. Now, this was apparently found in a Welsh coal mine, okay? And what happened was there was a living frog inside the coal block, apparently a mile down. They cut it out, the frog jumped out, they put it back into the coal block, thinking it would die. They cut out the entire block, bringing it up from the bottom of a coal mine, shipped it all the way to the indoctrinators of the future, the expositions and the World Trade Fairs, which is what they were, introducing the new bullshit, for evidence for coal being ancient.
Yes.
This was it. This was this is their moment.
That was some propaganda right there. That was
big
some
time,
serious
big
propaganda
time.
right
So
there.
to go to the effort to cut this fucking thing out, to put it on a train, put it all the way to Kensington, just so you can look at a frog in it, so they can tell you this frog was alive half a mile down in a Welsh coal mine. And that's the proof that this is really, really ancient, and you're living on an ancient creation. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
And they weren't going to put a mouse on there because a mouse ain't a lizard.
Exactly.
And they probably didn't have a lizard on hand. They probably had a frog.
There's a few examples of this kind of brainwashing going on, Jeff, that I pulled apart. Obviously, you know about the Antikythera device found on a galley in the Aegean Sea. But I think this is, they say it's more technical, more advanced than a Swiss watch. But I would say if it is what they say, it's recent and not ancient Greece. But the cogs in it, if you see an X-ray of it, it's quite mind-blowing. Apparently, a type of astrolabe. Apparently, some sort of astrological device. But basically, some people have said based on a flat plane. But obviously, I can't verify that. No,
well, a guy rebuilt it. He actually, it has 96 total. They thought it had 70 something gears, but it actually has 90, I think 96
some
gears.
really small gears, miniature ones. I've seen it.
Yeah, the dude that rebuilt it, it was in a box. It was like a foot by a foot by a foot deep, big as a shoebox. And yeah, and it's definitely a moon calendar. It's got the little ball that rolls as that wheel has a hole in it on one of the legs, and a ball.
I've seen like a modern day version in a space center. They're like on rods, the little planetary bodies, aren't they, or whatever?
No. If you look at the X, like the X in the middle, that's like a wheel. It's a gear, but on what looks to be like a screw hole right off the center axis on the down leg. That's where a little ball. Yeah, right there. That's where like a little glass ball that's painted half white and half black, and it actually rolls on the gear below it. And as that gear spins, it causes the ball to roll to change from black to white to black to white. It shows what the moon should be. Yeah, there's a dude that rebuilt this thing. It's pretty interesting. It's the I can't say the fucking word.
Antikythera device.
Yeah, that. I can't say that word. I cannot say that word.
I mean, I was blown away when I first discovered it back when I believed like ancient aliens and the History Channel were.
Yeah, that's what they want you to go to. They want you to think the shit's from outer space. Fuck yeah! If I was them, I'd want you to think it was from fucking outer space too.
Mud flood evidence. But I'm just trying to work out what the balls are. Are they gas balls from bubbles of gas from the fissures, or are they something completely different? You see them, the orbs in the strata of mud.
You know what it looks like to me? It looks like a bunch of shit that man made was like compacted with some other dirt and stuff, like a car would look after it went through a damn compactor.
Yeah, I got more evidence. This is exactly the same. It's that deep in the mud, and that's man-made shit for sure. Okay, that's that Lake Van thing. This was found in a coal mine in the 60s. And what you would see, not a coal mine, in a mine, this was deep apparently, and they would show you this again from ancient miners. It's a screw inside. Okay, So I would presume that's from ancient miners.
Or just ancient
Also,
machine,
this is,
or just just a lost bolt that came off of something, just that a long time ago, but when there wasn't supposed to be none.
this was a bit of a psyop. I don't know about this one. The hammer in the coral. Did you ever see
Yeah,
this?
I've seen
But
this.
next to
I
it,
don't know.
frustrations
Could
of
be.
sea creatures. Right here.
I mean, I don't see why not. I know they really did. They did a lot of hard work trying to shoot it down. If it would have been just a fancy fake, no, they wouldn't have drug out every scientist in the world to look at it to say, "Oh yeah, it's a fake." After one scientist would have looked at it and said it was a fake, none of the other ones would have showed up to look at it. If it was really a fake, they needed all of them to say it was a fake.
Well, the wood was petrified.
Yes, I know about this thing. Yes, I know.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. Roman water wheel found in Rio Tinto in 19th century, but I think it's if it's inside, because obviously it's inside the hill. Evidence again of these ancient miners. It's everywhere. You find everywhere you look, you find it. This one, I need to blow.
If you were a miner digging the shit like this out of the dirt, would it surprise you or would it piss you off in the end?
Yeah,
because that's what I kind of get when I look at all this stuff. I get to where I get damn angry. This shit makes me just as mad as NASA.
Yeah. Found in a coal mine, in a mine wall. This one was found back last year in the summer. Did you see this? They tried to say it was a Roman chariot in the bottom of a Russian mine.
No, I've not seen this. No,
it's not. It's a fucking wheel.
I wish you could blow it up. Shit.
I'm trying to. Oh, for fuck's sake. Excuse me. I did manage to blow the last one up, didn't I? Just a really small image. It's on Google Bloody Images. And sorry. Yeah, well, what you're looking at is a wheel, but I think it's like you get an engine room.
Yeah, it looks like an engine room shutoff valve wheel.
It is a shutoff valve, is what it is, and it's really deep. It was discovered last summer. More engineering from. I think that a lot of these mines are going into more ancient. Well, I think that's pretty self-evident.
Good one. Blown all the shit, but not washed down the stream. Right. Blown all the shit, but not washed down the stream. blown in 360 degrees, but not washed downstream.
A pyramid. The con, that is Egypt. Now, I don't know what to make of this photo, actually, but it's a Victorian photo. But can you look at the faces on the people, guys? The faces on the people?
They're Indians. They're like Inuit.
No, man. I would say they're Tibetan, mate. I would say they're Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese. Yeah, Asians.
So what are they doing there? They don't go on holidays in the 1800s, Jeff. There's no excursions for Tibetans or Chinese in the 1800s. So you can presume that Sphinx is in China.
That Sphinx is in China, and I know where it's at. It's at the. Tibetan. It's at the Tibetan Egyptian playground.
Is that right?
They built it a long time ago. Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
and look, and not only that, but the statue is a white lady.
Yeah, yeah. So it is. See, I always look at the nationalities on these statues and that. So much shows up that don't fit. Oh, that's underground. Found.
Okay, another box. This could be the door to nowhere. You see, it's the statue, a relief of a statue inside.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's got the same thing, hasn't it? Yeah, true. No, I got a lot of early images of the pyramids, but what you see on here is under the pyramid. It's some stoneworks.
Yeah, that's going to be polygonal masonry. It's going to be found under most pyramids or built on top of a polygon. Yeah, it goes deeper than that. Either that's the foundation or there's a lot more shit underneath it.
Well, I'll tell you what I got. I got a one. And also
up to the left, you see up to the left, you have top left of this picture outcrop. Now you got you have blocks right there sticking out of the dirt. That's actual masonry right there.
Sure.
Crumbled away.
But I got an image of this, Jeff. When I go digging for the existence of early civilization, I use this pattern, looking at the art for a start off. And I got a picture of Cairo, 1500s, and it shows the 3 pyramids on top of mesas. Yeah? mesas, like mountains. And there's no mountains here, no huge valleys. So it's just incredible. It's like they're so much bigger than what you see.
This is not Giza. This is not Giza before they started digging it out. Is that what?
Oh yeah, this is Giza, early Victorian, 1850s.
Yeah. Okay.
I collect them. I got many of Egypt.
To the left, I don't even see the Sphinx anywhere.
No, it's out of frame of this. It's done by you. I got plenty of Sphinx. I found a true origin. It was an Afro-Caribbean woman. They say that the
nice.
Yeah, I know.
This one is nice. Damn, I wish you could blow this up.
Oh, I know. Fucking shit. Google is shit. Should be able to give you the opportunity.
Oh, man, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god.
They haven't even cleaned this place up. What it is, when you're in the upper Nile Valley, when you're into like touristy Egypt, the stuff is mint. I'll show you examples like Karnak, which is basically modern, new plaster, new stonework.
Look at the writing on look at the writing all over the blocks. There you can see.
Man, it's not even hieroglyphics.
It's not hieroglyphs. It's not hieroglyphs, dude.
No, it's fucking Mesoamerican-y style. It's a bit like Inca, but not. I can't
like crop circle shit to me.
Crop circle shit.
I know that's the wrong word. I know that's the wrong phrase. That's just kind of
put lock holes in it, Jeff. Put lock holes.
Look how big them motherfuckers are.
See them holes there? Put lock holes. So this was possibly beams for flooring joists, possibly. For stories of floors, because these padlock holes are used for either scaffolding for exteriors of walls, or they're used for joist holes for flooring. So
or even for like mantles that just hold shit up, you know.
Well,
instead of hanging on the wall, you could
weaponry.
It could
be.
You
could put a gantry to march along. Yeah, it does that as well.
Whatever. I mean, well, even if it was just to hold up another big statue up, then that's how they held it. It could be another. If I'm looking at the holes correctly, I would say that there was actually 3 things in between these 2 guys sitting here, and there was probably people standing up, and that's how they held it up, and it was fastened to the wall. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing other statues that should have been over there to the left.
Yeah, right. Well. I think I can see what you're saying now. Yeah.
Or something. I would say it was probably, since they're so big, I would say it was somebody standing up behind them.
That's weird there, isn't it? Oh, that's fucking bubbled. It's really strange.
I know I look at things different than everybody else. Go ahead.
Well, this is Karnak.
I love these pictures. All right, this is all poured. These are poured.
This is Karnak. But you look at it today, and what you get on Karnak is now giant lintels across here. You see it on James Bond films all the way. Karnak's the biggest site in antiquity outside of Angkor Wat. Right? Second biggest site on Earth. And you see lintels on this part, so they've added them later. And I've examined, I could show you, I'll bring it up now. Karnak, right now, in this modern day, and you go into the exact same way here, and these stones are no longer here. Now, it's smooth.
Yes, and it's smooth now.
Over. So,
I thought I'd seen this before, but yes, that's exactly
Karnak. It's Karnak's main temple.
So it was poured and then shaved.
Yeah.
That's not blocks right there. That's poured cement.
See it? Cement. And that's strong cement too, Jeff. And it's not like any tech we got now.
No,
it's something else they were using.
Thousands of times stronger than what we use today.
Thousands of times. And you could lay
and they did it one layer at the time, and they had like a moving mold. If you go up that and you 3D model it, I'm sure you can find that it's the same pattern all the way around. They just pick up the mold and turn it 1 notch, fill it up.
Yeah.
After it dries, they pick up the mold, they turn, or maybe they had a couple of series of molds, but it was just a round fucking mold, a donut looking thing, and they fill it up with fucking concrete.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that in my head.
They separate it, fucking move it 1 notch, and that's how they built that shit. The easiest thing in the world to do. That's how they did it. So easy.
The interior, which is shit at this era. So whatever's happened to it, just bring up. I'll go back to that in a minute. Just change page. I just want to show you what it looks like now, because that's my maps. I collect catalogs, Karnak, because it's a bit of a weird thing actually. Where is it? There. Piranesi. Stunning he is. 2 seconds. Now, you go there today. I just showed you a picture of what it looked like. But if you go there today, this is brilliant. You love this, Jeff. So this is a virtual tour. You can go there today. So exactly the same entrance to what I just showed you. In the 1800s, the thing's to shit. You've got some sort of old block.
Patchwork. There's patchwork going on here.
Oh, it's terrible when you get in there. But check out the columns. Remember I just showed you? Okay, now they got some lintels. Them lintels can be doable. Oh, God, look at the modern day. This is a plaster called Limelight. I've used this myself. It's a modern flagstone floor, flagstone floor. These are modern. This is modern day plaster. It's very little of this place that you can really trust, is there? Look at it. You can go walk around it, Jeff. It's absolutely stunning. I'll give you a link to it.
Well, slow down. Let's just take a close look at one thing.
Oh, shit. Shit. What the fuck did I do then?
You know what? Them tanks right there, they definitely aren't that old. Them tanks are. Them tanks are.
I've gone to
at least 10,000-year-old tanks right there.
Dan, what have I done?
That's that was a goopy looking tank. What kind of fucking tank was that? That thing looked like it was a homemade tank or something.
It's amazing for Karnak. Oh, it's the wrong one. God, I got so much shit piled up.
I remember Sylvia did a presentation that had Karnak in it, and that's where I remember that the tops from. But they fucking did something to it. Either they covered it up. I also think that they have built stuff just to throw people off too.
This is the Sphinx in an oil painting. The whites blew off Africoid nose of Sphinx and destroyed much of ancient Africoid art and archives. And it goes into the eradication of Africa's rich culture. It's an excellent piece. And what you see, I got an oil painting of this, Jeff, is an African Caribbean woman, but she looks very much like an Olmec head, doesn't she? Almost like the same peoples. And you get like this slotted thing on the head, which is identical to Statue of Liberty, like a viewing platform. So the official narrative is Napoleon showed soldiers shoot the nose off it, and then it's resculptured as this man here, which they will say, some people say is Cheops, but that's bullshit. And there it is today. But you can still see her. You can still see her face. You can still see her lips. Look. They never got rid of her. It's an African Caribbean woman, and it's not a man. So this is quite a good article, actually. Just shows that nothing's what you think it is, especially when it comes to ancient Egypt. Now, don't believe the official Napoleon narrative, though, Jeff. Saying that there is proof that that was a woman. So this is Bath in Britain, Roman, 2,000-year-old. If you go there today, the place is mint, looks like it was made yesterday. All this year is basically apparently Roman. And none of it exists anymore. Everything you see here, now, you go there now, there's big pillars here, and they tell you they're Roman. So what can I presume from that?
Yeah, but they did that everywhere. I mean,
bullshit,
you can assure yourself when somebody says, well, that was Roman, it basically says that they have no idea what it is. They just call everything Roman, that they have no idea where it comes from.
Right. Now, this is where things get spooky. Now, cornerstones, foundation stones, they're laid on the corners of all civic buildings, government buildings, and a lot of their buildings, them. Now, when they lay a foundation stone, look into it yourself, and I'm making this up, there's a ritual done. Well, they say in the Victorian era, Queen Victoria there, she's doing it in the Great Exhibition. So she puts some grain and some oil underneath the stone as a gentle bit of magic. But in Europe, at the same time, they are doing animal sacrifices over their cornerstones and human sacrifices. But more to it. It's more to it than that. The blood is dripped over the cornerstones, and oil as well. And there's a sacrosanct. There's a thing that they repeat while they're laying all cornerstones, guys. Now, check this out for fucking sinister. Now, when you look into cornerstones, they will tell you that when they're laying them, the masons that lay the stone will do a thing called Shadow stealing. What's that, you may ask? Well, what they do is people who worked on the building or passers by, they will write their measurement down on a piece of paper. The piece of paper will be folded up and placed under the stone forever. So why are they stealing shadow measurements? And then you look into shadow traders, or the origins of shadow traders. And they were men who used to go around the streets of cities, gathering the measurements of people to go under foundation stones, specific people's buildings. I shit you not. And it goes all connotations to shadow governments and shadow trading. You know, what I went on to, and why the need to write shadows down and put under the stone? Well, to me, that's black magic, and they're attracting souls or what have you under the stone, and they put in like an aura.
And you know what they do today? Today they dig a hole. They get a line of people with a shovel and they dig a hole as like a groundbreaking ceremony before they would place that block.
Yeah. So
like they're digging a grave, but they'd say,
well,
no,
what are they doing then? It's not magic. They know something and they're doing magic on the building.
It's always like 6 people or something like that, isn't it? Am I wrong, chat?
No, man.
Think back to all the pictures, all the groundbreaking pictures you ever seen with people like on all. It's always fucking the politicians and shit like that. It's always the fucked up people that's doing the groundbreaking ceremonies.
Well, let's go and have a little Monte Picchu and see what we make of it, shall we? No, the mountain's missing, isn't it?
Wait a minute.
The top of the mountain is here in the background.
Oh, you're froze up. You're froze up. It's kind of blurry. It's a blurry picture of something that looks like a rock pea.
Wow, that's boom punko.
All right, I can see that. Yeah, okay.
That's architecture, yes. Well, I have a theory to the Victorians, because all architecture's gone now like this. They don't repeat it. It's all corporate bollocks. And when you look into architecture, nothing is for nothing. And it's all encoded with what I believe is flat earth related content. Now, Monte Picchu, top of the mountain's missing. Can't imagine where it's gone unless all of this was an old mining operation, which I'm starting to believe. This is concrete. This is cement. These are cement blocks.
Yes. They poured everything, man. They poured everything back then. They poured fucking everything back then. All polygony masonry is poured. Everything is fucking poured except what you see them chipping out of a bigger piece of rock. Pretty much everything that's polygonal is poured.
Them polygonals in there, ain't that, Jeff? Look, them polygonals in there are not the same as them grey ones on top.
It's because it's the first stuff. Yeah, that's the old stuff down below. You got new stuff. You got patchwork up top. Man, I can pick this site apart. I can pick this.
On me, I have many times. Sunday. I can see at least 3 civilizations sets on that site, maybe more. Excuse me.
They use different kinds. They use 2 different kinds of rock too.
Get off here a minute. Right, let's have a look at oh, excuse me. What have I got here? Actually, 20 to 4. I'm going to stop sharing. Do you know where? Oh, I want to show you this a minute, Jeff. Only a second. You know that artist Piranesi I talked about?
Right, I remember.
Well, he lives in 1700s. Yeah, he paints these. Now, they look like electrical circuit boards to me. I can't imagine what mind would conceive them. What they are is planned for a Roman city that was never built. Or he said, or people presume that was never built. So I dig in, I think to myself, well, I know this.
He only painted shit he saw.
It's not, man. It's mind-blowing when you go into it, Jeff. This is Germania. Adolf Hitler's plan for Germania.
Okay, all right. Are we going to continue this tomorrow night then?
Yeah.
And are you going to make it? Are you going to blow these fucking pictures up?
Oh, I will. I can.
I can help you. Is this in your Google Drive?
Oh, this is on my Google Photos. This is. Look how much I got, Jeff, to go through. I got so much. Loads and loads of cool stuff. That's mud flood evidence on the topography. It shows you in the landscape how it happens. I got loads.
Yeah, but was it a mud flood or was it just filled in when they were mining other shit? They just filled it in, and that's where all that dirt came from.
I think when this receded back, I think some areas were like, obviously, when it recedes back, it's going to leave silt and mud, isn't it? So I think that's where the mud comes from. Apart from liquefaction in certain areas where the mining was more. I think the mining is definitely a facet to it. I think it has to be. But look at this though. That's amazing. But the writing in it as well.
Now that looks like cut rock. That's not poured rock. That looks like cut rock.
It look like Jeff was Coral Castle.
Yeah, that looks like limestone. It's cut. That doesn't look poured. You can tell what's poured and what's not poured. Yeah, I mean, once you get to looking at it long enough, you can tell.
I know. I got a knife for it now. Like this is Ancient Etruscan to me. Ancient Etruscan is in northern Italy, the Etruscan Empire, predecessors for Rome. They come up before Rome. So this is an Etruscan street. Now, what I believe is these balls and these bits. I believe these are the top of pillars. I do. I think this thing goes deep because of the size of the door. It's always men are bigger.
Unless they got placed there later because they didn't know what the fuck to do with them and they were laying around doing something else. I mean, sometimes that happens too. You can just things look out of place and it's because they are. But you can definitely tell this is filled in because they wouldn't have made little tiny short doors like that.
The Etruscan stuff is brilliant to look at, Jeff. For examples, honestly, it's absolutely mind blowing.
You can tell they like their cornices. They like their they like their, and it's a very Western style architecture almost.
Oh, I know. I can spot the different styles. Oh, I got so many examples.
The circle, you'll see back up to that one picture. That one door is a good indicator of. See how that door? You got a round door, a square door, a round door.
Yeah.
Okay, exactly. So you'll see that in a lot of different places around the world, and on the oldest fucking sites in the world.
You can.
That right there, you'll know it when you see it again, just because I pointed it out.
I know a guy, Jeff, called Artist. It's a Dutch guy. He does the best examples that he's got. I sometimes borrow his. Honest to God, they're absolutely brilliant examples of this sort of thing. But yeah, I got some quite good stuff.
Right, well, we're gonna have to continue tomorrow night then.
All right.
Look at the people nursing on the. Look at the people nursing on the bull. That's people.
You know who they are?
Who?
Well, they're Etruscans, and they're called Romulus. God, I can't remember the other one, but they're the founders for Rome. Apparently, they were stuck by one. Why should you not?
You know. Rome, they should have said Rome was Canada, because you know how Canadians invent everything, yet they can never prove that they invented all the shit that they say they invented. Canadians remind me of Romans.
Everything's Rome. You got a village here. It's just a bit of grass, and basically because it's a bit of grass in a field, it's Rome. Obviously, it's Rome. What else could it be?
It could be nothing else. It could be, it could be evolution.
Well, I tell you what, I got so much on the go. It's hard to even put into words. The things that are happening, Jeff, are just mad. I got so much weird stuff happening in the last weeks. It's unbelievable. I'm waiting for some books to come through the post, though. I got somebody who's a fan said, I got some antique books, and I know you would appreciate them. I know you would look after them, and it would help you with your vlogs and your journey. So I got some, juice coming. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Well, it sounds like just right up your alley.
Yeah,
if I had a fucking old book, look, if I got a hold of a 500-year-old book and I looked at it and I thought it was worth looking at, you'd be the first person I'd fucking send it to.
Look, they're getting rid of all literature. Okay, everything's in PDF form, so they can alter it in one generation's time. Everything's rewritten, and the narrative, the official context, is gone for their agenda. So the libraries are closing. We have 500 in the last 7 years in the UK, and they intend on closing the rest in the next 5 years. All PDF. Okay, so they can fuck with this. So I think it's I think it's important to keep on to some old texts for evidence of, because I know it's all bullshit and Jesuit rewrites, but there are some pearls in there, like Piranesi, the artist. I know this guy was telling us something, and Benini and other ones that I know of were telling us stuff. Like the artist Canaletto always put rotten fruit in his pictures to tell you his masters are rotten to the core. That's true. So there's codes. There is stuff that's true, but the rest is bullshit, I'm afraid. I don't know what to make of it, Jeff. The 1800s, it's got big gaping holes. They'd be like, what, whitewashing photographs? There's something going on. Why would they whitewash?
Where's all the 1,000-year-old trees?
Where they go? What's been going on is more the point. There's been something big happened in the near past. Without a doubt, the evidence of this new Madrid is like a revelation to me, Jeff. Something, I don't know whether people have not really sinking in. They need to read about this, how biblical. I mean, the whole Mississippi Valley, right the way up, the whole central part of America was reshaped.
And they're saying that's where it's fixing to move again. And
I got projections, I just showed you one, of basically America split in two, and there's like a sea.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got older projections.
It looks as though I'm in a safe area, but I'm not sure if I'm going to survive the tsunami.
Don't worry about all that, Jeff. You won't be able to outrun it anyway. It's going to come in like a jet plane, but I wouldn't even worry about it.
When I saw that, when I was looking at the new Madrid thing, it's because I used to always have a reoccurring dream of a big wave, and I'm standing kind of on the beach, and I run to the wave, and I dive into it.
Look, Jeff, same. And do you know that guy, that Flat Earth Nation? He committed two of mine today, right? My videos, really appreciate that. But he watched my video last night when I was saying, like, look, they had no fucking food. There was a famine. There was no sun for 3 years following these events, and the crops failed. There was mass starvation across the plain. And
cannibalism.
Famines, millions died, and I think they purged to get down surplus population so they could the food that they had, that they could, just survive the population on the plane at the time. Something biblical happened, and it's been taken out of the narrative. Any clues to it, you've got to dig deep. And they tried to get official government people in to disprove them. Well, then you know that this shit happened. And the Madrid event is just mind-blowing. Yeah. And right across the world, all across Europe, Kiev burned to the ground, all cities across Germany, all cities across... look into the American,
and then they try to get you when you understand it could very well be a God thing. Then they hit you with a
mate. How would you know that they never filled us all in these cities in 1930? Right. None of us even know how long we've been here. It's just looking like we haven't been here long. From my eyes, that's just me.
Well, it just looks like we started all over again. And this last time, it probably is like that every time. There's people that manipulate what they know, what they find of the old story, of the original story. They manipulate that and turn it into something for their benefit so they can control people. And yeah, I think the gold and the mining is a big fucking part of it. Where's all the goddamn gold? We didn't make buildings out of gold.
Look, I was doing a theory, right, about this fucking heavy water plant in World War II, okay? This Norwegian one that they sent the Norwegians and the British in to blow up. And it's heavy water, so it's producing deuterium, they say, for nuclear bomb production. Well, I don't believe they ever did fission. I think fission is bullshit. It's science fiction. So what was that plant doing? And then I started to juggle with the idea, because of its topography and its location of the gold streams, that this plant might have been producing monotonic gold, Jeff, is what I believe.
You can make a monatomic version of anything. There's monatomic.
I thought a month back.
Metals can go monatomic.
Weird you should say this, because I thought a month back I posted on it. It's fucking nuts.
But I think that's just what they consume is the monatomic gold. And I believe they used to carry it to them back when the drug dealers came down here to pick up their shit. We delivered it to them in something that looked like a fucking ark, and it was a big fucking thing. And there was only a couple of people that could really interact with them and give them the gifts and give them, their godlyhood and stuff like that. And then they'd leave, they'd take their shit and they'd leave. And then they might have taught us along the way how to make the gold ready for them. Yeah. Just like you think about how the drug system goes down here. They didn't start with crack cocaine.
No, man. CIA brought it over from the border.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a process through time. If we are theirs, then they're training us along the way. They're making us smarter to make us be able to perform easier, better for them. They can manipulate us easier now. if you don't see all the manipulation, all the mind fuck, psyop, bullshit, control. Who planned fucking 9/11? Don't tell me it was fucking 5 guys that wrote fucking Project for New American Century. That shit had to have been designed on a computer and operated and executed by a computer the same way. There's a lot of shit going on here that I mean, just if you believe that 9/11 was what you think it is and the fucking explosives and bring down the buildings and all that shit, if that's what you believe, then you have to understand it would have taken tens of thousands of people to plan it and execute it.
I can't imagine anyone still.
You couldn't have compartmentalized that shit for nothing.
I picked it apart so much, Jeff. It's just insane. I can't believe anybody can't see. I just can't believe it. It's just unbelievable to my eyes, to my mind. Same with a lot of this, actually. Jeff, I'm gonna have to go. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
I know. I'm gonna get up here too.
I love it staying.
All right. Well, look, we'll just pick it back up tomorrow if you want to, and you can continue on and go back get the pictures. Take some time, make them pictures bigger so we can see them better.
Yeah, man. I got
some good goddamn pictures.
God, I got like files of stuff that I haven't, like, they're just ready to go into my presenting stuff, and you want to see what I got. Honestly,
you don't know how much I miss this, Martin, because this is what we used to do.
I was so happy the day when you got in contact. I was like, yes, fucking brilliant, good old days. And everyone in chat looks. Hi, Suzette. And you got Ron's here, if you ask her.
Oh no, not Ron. Dang.
I can't do his voice.
I can't either. He talks too damn deep. You imagine like when he is sick, what he must sound like when he's sick and snoring. He probably sounds like a fucking bear in the bedroom or something.
He's Alaskan. They're all like that up there. They gotta be. They all eat wild Alaskan salmon. They eat it over a rock and they just eat it raw. I've seen northern exposure. I know what goes on in these areas.
Hear that, Ron? Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I miss this. And I'll look up soon anyway. I gotta bash this fucking. I gotta make my bed up, and I was late today.
All right. Well, if you catch your mom in a lucid moment tomorrow, tell her I said.
Oh, no, she's lucid. Like, yes, she knows exactly who you are. So I'm gonna hang out with Jeff. Oh, good. Say hi to Jeff. She knows exactly who you are, Jeff. Not like that.
We'll start earlier tomorrow if you want to. How's that?
I just see what's happening. I don't even know because my life is chaos.
Oh, no, I mean, like, if you wanted to finish a presentation, yeah, it ain't got to be tomorrow or whatever. I'm just saying, whatever. You know.
All right. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm like, you don't even know what my account's like, Jeff. I got like about 50 odd fucking emails in my bin and like 200 comments. I like in the last 2 days. Have a look at my account. It's ridiculous. I run away from it for the evening to hang around with you. I got to combat it in the morning.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you're gonna catch a bunch of shit tomorrow because you hung out with me tonight.
I can't not do it because it's me, and I don't like to not do it. But 4 to 6 hours it takes me to go through it.
I know it.
I stay up all night usually doing it, but I do like doing it. Important part of it, I believe.
That's right.
With the people, like, get to know them. Plus, I got so many new subs as well, and they're like, remember years ago, Jeff, you said that there would be tsunami coming, and like, basically we were buffers or fenders to soak it all up when they come, and they will. Well, yeah, they do. They come in waves, and like last month or so, I like extra 1,000 people have turned up. All, I'm saying green, but I'm saying excited. I'm saying ecstatic with the revelations. I'm very enthusiastic and passionate, like we used to be. It's really fucking cool.
That's nice.
And yeah, so they look to us, to give them, good advice and steer them well, not fucking bullshit. So thank God at the end of everything in the last few years that we get to this point, I say, especially with the new people coming in. And like we said years ago, there's no one to police this shit, Jeff. And I want to see some of the shit that goes down out there.
No, it's crazy as shit. I mean, a lot of people might even be watching this shit going, oh, this is crazy as shit. And
I doubt it.
All you're doing is you're just watching two guys noodling while looking at old shit, just noodling, just thinking different shit, just odd shit. It might sound crazy. It might make, you might see something else later and it make perfect sense. And you'll say, oh my God, that was fucking right. Or, oh, geez, that was so wrong. But it doesn't matter. I mean, we just noodle over stuff and
all you got to
do that. I ain't gonna learn.
Narratives with this are simple. If you're thinking back to how did that work with official narratives, it all falls apart. You got to forget about it all. and that's how it works. And then you can pick up the pieces of what's left, and then there's a story. There is a story, but like I said, big gaping holes. I can't piece it together yet, but it's because of the time aspect. It is coming together, though.
It's the time that the missing time that makes you not able to complete the circle.
Plus, I got this feeling of sort of like, I should be hurrying. There's not that much. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. We got to wake them up. We got to wake them up. And I constantly have this like, feeling of got to push forward quicker and more, and don't even know why. Do I set myself these insane fucking restrictions or these insane things that I got to approach to? It's really weird, Jeff. But am I imagining it that we're in this really difficult time for humanity at the crossroads, and we come to a block end? Would you say that they got us in a block end now?
Well, I'd say that we've probably gotten as big as we're going to get before they blow it all to shit again.
Well, that's exactly the way I see it.
I think of all the, like you don't see anything bigger than what you've seen all blown to shit. So you think of what we got going. We're about shoe size ready to get blown to shit.
Yeah, and they got their towers up. Their towers of baseball reaching to the sky. Look at that one that was opened a couple of weeks ago in Dubai, tallest one ever, nearly a mile high. So they got their symbol ready. Yeah, it's so predictable. And these people, these psychopathic rulers, they're like apocalyptic by nature. They just try and fulfill biblical prophecies.
Well, they might just be the main drug dealer. That's why how I look at them. They're the ones that actually are controlling. If you want to find who's controlling the world, you find who's getting the gold at the end of the gold show. If I dig a piece of gold out of the ground, where that gold goes in the very end.
And they have these gifts, like you need little gifts for for gold and stuff. It makes perfect sense. Did you hear what happened when the Chinese had that gold delivery from America?
Yeah,
and it was a warehouse, and they scraped it off, and it was lead underneath.
Yes, and then the gold that just disappeared off. All the gold in 9/11, all the gold that they've had to turn in. How about when the space shuttle used to drop off the satellites up in space? You remember how they were in gold foil wrapping and they'd spit them out like Christmas presents? Think about it.
Oh, I'm thinking about it.
They wrapped them up in pretty little presents and sent them out the door. Fucking, I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you.
I've seen them images of fractals on the sun's surface. You ever seen that? Refueling.
Yeah.
I used to, years ago when I was listening, I thought, well, that's impossible because the sun's massive. Now I'm a flat earth and I know it's small. It's fucking doable. They refuel for whatever it is, if that's real. You can't trust YouTube.
All right,
peace and love, Jeff. I gotta go.
Yep, you get off of here and tell your mom I said hi, and just hit me up on whatever, whenever you want. Or even invite me on with you. I don't care. Just send me a link whenever.
All right. Thanks for being so kind, Jeff. God bless,
brother.
All right, good night. God bless, brother.
We'll see you. All right. Are we going to continue, or you know what? If I continue, I'm going to close the hangout out and just crank up OBS. If it's all the same to y'all, it's 11 o'clock. Honey, what do we got to do tomorrow? Oh, yeah, we got to go to DMV sometime, I guess, maybe. This is the worst show on YouTube, Rob. You're exactly right. I take pride in knowing that scientists and mathematicians and history professors all over the world they're burning evil effigies of Martin Liedtke right now in their fireplace. You know, they're chanting spells of evolution and globular models while doing this. See you, Martin. Have a good night. Sleep tight. DMB at 11 a.m. is what it is. All right. Suzette, I beg to disagree. This is absolutely the worst show on YouTube by far. I am proud of my ranking on YouTube at this point. You're not going to take that away from me. I have not accomplished much in my life at all, but I am very proud to be the worst stream on YouTube. Ain't nobody going to take. I have won this award over and over and over and over. Are we going to bed now, honey? All right, we're going to bed. I can get off of here. I do appreciate Martin hanging out with me tonight. That was so cool. It's been so long since I hung out with Martin. And I tell you, me and Martin used to do this shit every damn night. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Don't work too hard if you got to work tomorrow. And I hope the weather doesn't get bad on everybody. We're supposed to get some bad weather in here in the next day or two, they say this time. I got a half inch of snow the last time. It was just unreal. I thought I was going to shovel myself to death. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Yeah, no, I'm talking about my actual YouTube ranking. I'm the fucking worst show on YouTube, Suzette. That's definitely true. I mean, it's true in other aspects too. It's probably the worst show in entertainment. It's the worst show in, I don't know, bathroom breaks. It's the worst show in all kinds of damn areas. I mean, I got the whole spectrum covered on how I'm the worst show on YouTube, but I am proud of it nonetheless. See you, Joseph. See you, Ron. See you, Rob. See you, Martin. See you, Suzette. See you, Rob. And everybody else. Let's see who else was in here. I got to give everybody a shout out if I can. Oh, now the computer's not working. Great. Let's see who participants. I don't know. I got everybody that's in there now. Yep. Looks like. Okay. Y'all have a good night. See ya.